are back on another Monday, and Luca has yet deserted us again. I don't know what you see, John. I see a black screen.
I see a black screen, too. He ruined it. He's a sabotager. It's official.
Another sabotage, another night, another sabotage. But what's up, everybody? A lot of stuff to go over. We got Mets, Yankees, possible trade rumors. Obviously, the Mets have already made a couple of trades themselves. The New York football, it's the black screen. So this is what we're gonna deal with the next few minutes.
God.
I've never gotten this before. It's just so weird. But I guess being in we're in the dark with the way the Yankees are playing. But
symbolism.
Yes, Giants Jets training camp. We got the first game this Thursday when we're calling it. So even though it's not my Giants, I'm enjoying the fact that football is just so close away. And then obviously regular preseason games begin, and can't wait to break that down and all that sort of stuff. What is up, Knicks Nation, Jets SMS, black screen, yo. I fucking hate this team. The Yankees make my life miserable. Just sell Rizzo and Stanton and Sevy and everybody undone, bro. At least the Mets are selling. Brian Cashman's taking a fucking nap in his sleeping bag. Two giant goofballs. What's up? What's up, Drew? But we have the abominable black screen below us. I don't know what is this like a scary movie or something?
He might pull out something that we're not expecting.
I like maybe his camera dropped and it's just like face down. So this has never happened before. This has never happened.
Alex, I must say you misread a comment from Knicks Nation. You forgot the part.
Yeah, the part. He says, "I hope not." What is up, Brad? Where's Luca Legend? I think he got called into something, but also it's like a black screen. So, John, Jets training camp has begun. Well, it's been, obviously active for a couple of days now. The Dalvin Cook visit. The Mets, they made a couple of different trades. And then anything else? You just throw in your first thoughts.
Well, I can't wait for the MLB trade deadline because, as I mentioned yesterday, for anyone who joined the call-in show, a year ago today, or maybe not the exact date, but a year ago, last year's MLB trade deadline was the first time I ever appeared on here. So it will be a full year at some point this week. I actually have to go look back at the date. But nevertheless, as you mentioned, Dalvin Cook and the talks with the Jets apparently went very well. Haven't come up with a deal yet. I'd say probably there will be a deal at some point if I had to throw out a guess, but who knows? I could be wrong. And you're right. I did put out a little short video about the Mark Canha trade for anyone that wants to go check it out. Nothing crazy, in my opinion, which we'll get into in a little bit. But I've also put out some of the other Mets trades that have happened, as it appears that Passan has tweeted out that they will continue to be in sell mode with other guys. Maybe it's a Brooks Raley, whether it's a Tommy Pham or a Justin Verlander, Omar Narvaez, anything and anything. So, that's pretty much it for my first thoughts. And I would, I want the black screen to give his first thoughts, but I don't know.
Yeah, what does the black screen think? It's like all the Charlie Brown noises. Jets have been training for the second ring for 54 years now. Yeah, you can't doubt that. What is up, Daniel Berry? Big announcement, as I was warned.
Yes, I was warned.
Ring the bell, bitches. I'm officially prostate cancer free. Yesterday I got the news I've been waiting for since I was diagnosed 4.5 months ago. Brad, you are an outstanding supporter. You are an absolute warrior. As much as you like to bust our chops here, we are happy for you. Ooh, the black screen is not a black screen anymore.
He appears. Ooh. But no, Brad, when you told me that I was earlier, I was very happy. And I'm very proud that you were able to beat it. So congratulations again.
It would not, exactly. It would not be the same without you in the chat and all that stuff. Congrats, Brad. I have a question for the black screen. So now it's a background. So we're let there be light. Yes,
clap
let there
for
be
progress.
light. Clap for progress, guys. Clap for progress. Let's get to 10 likes, everybody. Let's get to 10 likes. Do all that good stuff. Share out if you haven't already. The Yankees are losing, by the way. I don't know if anyone cares, but they're losing 5-1, which is not necessarily surprising. Earth to Luca. Do we have that? I mean, because I feel like before the black screen entered, it was that background. So We have yet. Throw us your questions, by the way. Wow, because I want to go into an immaculate grid, but again, it's like last night he wasn't here as well.
What? You know what? Let's start throwing out theories on what happened to him. I got a good one. The Area 51 aliens came to your house, didn't know that you weren't home, but only saw Luka and decided to take him away.
They said he's good enough anyway. You could pretend that the hats are reporters and do a fake news press conference. That's interesting. Yeah, dude, pretend all the hats are reporters. Okay. I'm gonna get the immaculate grid started. I don't know when he plans on returning, Frosty the Snowman over here. But let's get into this immaculate grid, and then we'll as our little icebreaker exercise we usually do. All right, so I'm gonna limit to 3 guesses each, and then obviously, thanks guys. The shit will continue to follow.
Yes, it will.
He had White Castle and had to go. I like this one. This one's very funny.
Here we go with the
fast food battles continue. Battles continue.
I wonder how many fast food comments we're really going to get to tonight. That's really going to be the key.
That'd be really interesting. Okay, so here we are. Here's, as I said, 3 guesses each approximately, just to give everybody a fair shot. Let's see. Any thoughts so far, John? Now, you could do Philly. Now, this one might be more obvious, though. Philly and Cleveland, Jim Thome.
Thome's an option.
But I just feel like he would be more obvious.
I think he's more obvious. So let's take our time. We're not in a rush. Hold up.
Luka's not coming back before Christmas, so.
I think I got one guy that I don't know if he'll be that obvious. I remember he was a shortstop. He bounced around. Brad Miller. I feel like I've seen him in both uniforms. Okay. I know he was those two. I know he played in Seattle.
All right, so we're gonna. I will say this, John. If Brad Miller is wrong,
I'll take the blame.
I'll take the heat for it.
Take the heat.
0.3%. That's very good. All right. 0.3%.
All right.
So Philly's MVP. I mean, Ryan Howard is probably like a guess.
Jimmy Rollins is a guess.
Roy Halladay ever win MVP?
I don't think he did with the Phillies. The guys I think of are Ryan Howard and Jimmy Rollins.
Okay.
Did Mike Schmidt win an MVP too?
It's possible.
Pretty sure he did. My guess would probably, I don't know who's more popular. And I guess Bryce Harper counts too. Because
essentially.
Who you think who do you think's more popular? Ryan Howard or Jimmy Rollins? Wow. Oh, he glitched. Whoa.
Yeah, I was about to say maybe if he talks.
I was shaping up my camera, but I apologize, fellas. I got called into a different room for about a second. Dinner stuff, but regardless, I did hear about Mr. Brad. I'll plug in my earbuds. Mr. Brad, you were a loyal member of this channel. You were a loyal follower, and I congratulate you on your cancer remission. So you're awesome. We love you here.
And give us your first thoughts. Obviously, the Yankees are losing. The Mets made a couple of trades, and Jets training camp has started. And the first game is this week on Thursday.
Yeah, I'm excited for Jets football, even though it's the preseason. But Hall of Fame game, I don't remember the last time the Jets were in a Hall of Fame game. I think it was like the early 90s. But regardless, awesome stuff there. The Yankees, just don't do anything. Just sell if you can. Sell as many pieces as you can. But we know what their situation is.
Can I don't mean to interrupt, Luka, because I do have the Yankee game on now. Am I seeing this correctly that they brought in Herman to be a reliever?
Did they actually?
He's number 0, right?
Yeah. Oh my God,
they brought him in.
They're so stupid. They are literally so stupid.
Why?
They literally just mailed it in, bro.
Why did they?
I don't. Wow.
What?
Wow.
I thought he was hurt because of an armpit.
What a
You're right. John, I'm telling you right now, you're right.
I'm so confused.
John, you're right.
Stupid team.
He did get hurt, right? I thought I read that earlier. He was scratched tonight because he was hurt because of his armpit. But now he's
Boone should be fired just for that.
What?
No, come on.
I'm not crazy here. Like he is number 0. I'm not
No,
crazy.
he's in. No, I checked it on
All right.
MLB.com. He's coming in. Like, really? Wow.
What is
Wow.
that?
I mean, I'm seriously. No, like, come on, bro. Like, you could not be more dumb. No, the Yankees should just no. Aaron Boone should just let alone be fired for that shit. I mean, seriously.
Alex, you don't understand. Everything's okay. Everything's okay with the
No,
Yankees
I mean, I was
too.
told momentum after the Mets series. Yeah, we split with the Mets, but apparently that's momentum.
I don't. There's everything. I'm just gonna say this in summary. There's everything wrong with what the Yankees do. With the Mets trades. Regarding the Mets, they're doing the right thing by selling. Obviously, they've sold Max Scherzer this far. They got a decent prospect in Acuna. They got Mark Canha for a somewhat decent return. Obviously, Canha's an average outfielder, so that's, you're going to get very little. Obviously, the Robertson thing was not so great. But, yeah, let the Mets keep selling. It's what they should be doing.
I can't. I still can't believe this. I still can't believe this.
That's why I don't have folks. That's why I don't have the game on. It's in it, and I would normally rant tonight because of what Aaron Boone said yesterday about having good at bats while striking out 18 times. Folks, I don't have the energy anymore to rant.
I don't
bring on football season.
Thank you, John's absolutely right. Bring on football.
Just imagine, but I will say this though. If you had to pick right now, Luca, right?
Okay.
You go back to last year's Zach Wilson performances or this New York Yankees team. Which do you want? And or is not an answer. Which would you rather watch?
You know what's funny, Alex? I'm just gonna put this out there. There were games where Zach Wilson played bad, but the other half of the team played good. Like he was the only I'm not gonna say he was the only problem because that's not true, but he was the main problem and everybody knew it. So I'd have to go with that. But,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just the Aaron Boone should be fucking fired for that. That's literally the stupidest thing that's happened in baseball this year. Tell me it isn't.
I have an armpit injury. So stupid. But I like to.
Oh, I didn't put on deodorant this morning. That's literally what it was. I've never heard that before,
folks. If
you have
literally
stinking.
If you have the energy to talk about the Yankees, God bless you. Because I don't. I mean, we'll obviously go into the trade deadline and all that shit, but let's continue with the grid.
You say dinner stuff, White Castle. In reference to the comment, he had White Castle and had to go.
Oh, God. Are
this
we
team
talking about... Go ahead. I was going to say, I'm sorry to interrupt, Alex. I said I was going to... Are we going over last night's comment where we were talking about what would I rather do, have listen to Nickelback or have White Castle?
Honestly, the Yankees' wheel of excuses might have to come in soon.
Oh, I feel like I'm going to build a wheel soon.
Yeah, we'll have John's the wheel builder.
Yes.
All right.
This team couldn't use Google Maps to get the U.S. Postal Service, let alone mail anything in, and watch Postmaster bully Aaron Boone. Yeah. No, I mean, you're absolutely right, Sunil. I'm just sorry. That just fucking boggles my mind. What a stupid team. What a stupid. And he had a 1-2-3 inning. Imagine the first fucking inning we would have had that.
The Yankees are a backwards organization.
The Mets wouldn't do this shit. I feel okay. So maybe you know what I'll compare.
Let's not go that far.
John. No, I'm not. In truth, I'm gonna be serious. I don't think the Mets would do this either. The Mets are own incompetence. But
here's the problem. Here's the thing here, right? The closest thing I think the Mets have done to this type of stupidity is when Mickey Callaway couldn't fill up a lineup card.
Yeah, and he couldn't. They batted out of the order, which I think is worse, but nevertheless.
There's so many things wrong.
Yep, Yankees 18 Ks last night. That was great.
Did you write out, Sunil? If you wrote out all 18 Ks, I'm very impressed.
Read my comments.
How many did he get?
Luca finally got over his diva black screen moment. Yeah, I mean, did you notice that you were a black screen for a few seconds?
That's because my not that my computer I think was on sleeping. It might have been, but yeah.
Laughing emoji. Yankees are more depressing than when I was diagnosed with cancer. Damn, man.
I'm glad you can make that joke, Brad. I'm glad you can make that joke. In all seriousness.
Yankees are 18 Ks. Usually when you say the Mets wouldn't do this, it means you made the right decision. Usually. Correct. This is out of the ordinary, so we're going to say obviously, this situation is different.
Even Brian Hoke was like giving a weird kind of thing toward, like he made a questioning the move kind of tweet. He like put ... and now Domingo Herman was too much of a health concern to start this game. Is warming up in the bullpen.
That he did, Brad. That he did.
There's so many problems wrong with the Yankees. This might be the softest organization I've ever rooted for.
They didn't even do this shit in 2021.
No.
They can out-dumb their own dumbness.
I mean,
yes, sir, Brad. I did hear your news. I addressed it when I came on. So yes, I did hear your news.
When he came out from the black screen, but yeah, as I said, if you guys haven't already, go buy your Fire Cashman, Fire Boone shirts. They're in the shop. I'm gonna put it in. I mean, serious 5. Yeah, Anthony Rizzo sucks. Anthony Rizzo's washed.
Awesome.
I mean, seriously. Oh, you dumb. I can't even type right, but you guys want to start taking guesses at this Immaculate grid.
Yes.
While we were interrupted by stupidity for 20 seconds.
So I got one guess down, which is a pretty good rarity score.
Okay.
All right. All right. I got another one. If I can go on the fire here. MVP 3,000 hits. Ty Cobb.
Really?
I know
Good
that
one.
for a fact.
Okay. Ty Cobb, MVP, 3,000 hits.
Mm-hmm. That I know. Yep.
2%. All right.
Ooh, I'm on fire. All right.
Now let me ask this. Ooh, I got one. This guy said he feels good today. Josh Donaldson, Cleveland A's.
No. I'll give you a more rare score. I'll go with Scott Kazmir.
Which one should we go, John? You're the tiebreaker.
Ooh.
Kazmir, I think Kazmir's the more rare one.
I think so too. Yeah.
All right. I'll be fair.
I agree with Luke on this one.
All right.
What is it?
You do take it. It's 0.6.
Points.
So would that count as your guess then?
Yes.
Okay.
I got one more for my final guess. I'm not 100% sure because this. I'm pretty sure this guy won a Rookie of the Year with the Cubs too. Cubs Athletics, Giovanni Soto.
Yeah, I think he was an A, actually.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're probably right on that, John.
This is just my board today. Come on.
No, wait. No. That's no.
That's not it.
It's with an E, actually, Alex.
Yeah,
GEOVA. There you go.
So it's A's Cubs.
Give me
Yep.
a guess.
All right. So it's up to me and Luca now. And
What is the percentage for that one?
0.3.
Holy crap.
If we get stuck, we're going to defer to the chat. Or maybe we'll give the chat one to do just for fun. All right. Phillies, Cubs.
I definitely have the crown today.
D-Rob is one.
D-Rob's an easy answer, in my opinion. I'm still trying to think because, you got to think of backup options.
Ricky Henderson, that's probably going to be obvious.
I'm
Jimmy
gonna think.
Fox?
I'm gonna think about their champion. I'm gonna think about the Cubs and Phillies championship teams of
I know the obvious one would probably be Jake Arrieta.
Right.
That's an obvious.
That would be one. Jake Arrieta, D-Rob. I'm trying to think elsewhere. I feel like there's going to be probably like 2 utility plays that we're not even thinking of. Damn.
I know Sunil brought up Ryan Sandberg. Did he actually play with the Phillies? Because I know he managed for them.
I would presume he played for the Phillies. Yeah, he did. 1981.
Okay. Just keep that back of the mind. Good guess, Sunil. Let's see. Shit.
Also credit to 2 giant goofballs because I think he guessed that earlier in before we got interrupted by stupidity.
Let me see if Matt Stairs was a Cub.
Matt Stairs, that's an interesting name.
He might have been.
I threw a shot in the dark. He was a Cub.
So you're gonna guess that.
That's a pretty good guess. Matt
Stairs. 2%.
Who the fuck would guess him?
It's
Who the fuck would
2%.
guess Matt
Calm
Stairs?
down. Calm down. It's 2%. Okay. Okay. Did Jim Tomei have over 3,000 hits?
I
I
don't
don't
think he
think he was
did.
more-
I know he's part of the 600 or the 500
The big home run club.
Yeah. Don't know if he had over 3,000 hits.
Look at that. 2,300. No. Okay. Cleveland. Good players in Cleveland. I know that's hard to come up with. Let's see.
Let me just throw this out there. Phillies MVP Ryan Howard. Is that too much obvious?
Well,
I mean, I can't. Let me look up if Mike Schmidt won MVP. If not, we're gonna go with Howard.
yeah, because those are the three guys we threw out earlier. Because I thought the most
Okay.
obvious.
He's a 3-time
was
NL
Harper.
MVP. So you want to go with that or Ryan Howard?
Schmidt. I'm sorry. Obviously, Schmidt's done it more times, but Ryan Howard also is in more of recent
It's like
memory.
recency bias.
I also said Jimmy Rollins, but I don't know.
I don't think Rollins would have won MVP. I don't
No,
think.
he didn't. He's an MVP to his name. He did.
He did?
Yes, he did.
What
What
about
year?
Chase Utley?
What happened?
What year, John?
It was in the 2000s. I know there's an MVP attached to Rollins' name. He had a. I don't remember the year. It had to be like.
Luca, what are you
06.
looking at?
I'll look it up. Hold
No,
on.
no. I had Alexa answer my question. I think 2007.
I know there's an MVP in there. Him.
Dave, we do see your comments, by the way. Where if we get stuck, we're gonna defer to the chat, but you guys keep guessing. Daddy Dayball says Dayball's over Saloser. I guess he's referring to Robert
Saloser.
Saleh, and the Giants will beat the Jets.
Oh,
Will you guys
Sal
be attending the
Loser.
game?
I get.
Oh, I get it. Okay. Yeah, I plan on attending the game. At least I know because there's like a little mini content creator tailgate going on, so I'm gonna be going there and hanging out with the fellas and whatnot. So
I'd go Jimmy Rollins, in my opinion.
Jimmy
You think he's
Rollins.
lower?
I think he's the lower score.
All right, Luca, you will take the bullet if it's like 60%. Ready? 16. That's not terrible.
Yeah.
All right, so 3 guesses. So I haven't guessed one. All right, A's MVP.
Miguel Tejada's won. I don't know if Reggie Jackson won one.
Yeah, he did. I don't remember
His
where he
prime was with besides the Yankees.
You have to win it with the A's, though. That's the big thing.
Yeah, he did. Reggie Jackson, 1973. 14%.
Damn, all right.
Cubs,
I guess we'll be in the
3,000
30s
hits.
for this one. Cubs 3,000 hits.
Did No More ever get 3,000?
No, I don't think he did. He might be short though.
Moises Alou, Nomar Garcia Parra.
Ernie Banks. Don't
I
know.
feel
if
like
he-
Ernie Banks might have done it.
I don't know if he did. I don't know.
Let's look up Ernie Banks. Nope, 2,500.
No. Okay.
I don't think Sandberg ever did it.
No.
No. Let's look up this player. Did he play for the Cubs? No, he didn't. So that would screw us over. Oh man. If not, we're gonna refer to the chat because the chat has been helpful. And then 3,000 hits for Cleveland. Like who the hell has been good for
Eddie
Cleveland?
Murray. Eddie Murray.
For who?
The Cleveland.
All right. I guess we'll break the rules tonight. 48%. Nice job, Luca.
What? That's the first one that came to mind.
All right. Cubs, Cap Anson.
All right.
Jeez.
I
missed that
think
one.
Sneal's correct on that. I trust his opinion.
27%.
Okay.
Rarity score.
Again, we did really well, but obviously the last two was.
I think it was hard to think of the 3,000 hitters with Cleveland and the Cubs. That's what screwed us.
Yeah.
Damn,
But-
we were off to a hot start too. Damn.
Yeah. But it's fine. It's fine.
No, I
But,
know. I just want the scores in like the 20s, 30s.
But well. Oh. You guys want to hear a genius quote from Michael Kay?
Oh, I think I saw it, but tell John, please.
The Yankees
hold
want to
up, hold up.
obviously gain ground in the AL East.
I gotta write it down. This is
Okay.
the genius, Michael K. Go ahead, Professor. Or, sorry. other professor. Go ahead.
This is so stupid. The Yankees obviously want to gain ground in the East.
Gain ground East.
It's
God,
funny that Alex, shouldn't it say 1.3K subscribers?
Yeah, I haven't changed it since we hit that number, so strike one for me. But
Hey.
what the? Just stop with that. Just stop. I want to partake in the next one. This is a brain burner, something brainless trash can can't possibly achieve. Yeah, Dave Winfield. Oh, Cleveland 3K. That's another good one.
yeah,
But well, Luca, whether you want to deviate into slight Yankees or the Mets or the general trade deadline, I'll leave you going first while we set up a new background.
Well, I guess you want to just go over the MLB trade deadline as a whole, like what names could be moved and whatnot. Obviously, the Cubs have went from sellers to buyers. The Phillies are going to buy. I guess we could just move into the trade deadline. Let me also pull up my noties and recent rumors that I also want to add.
I think also, like, just because it connects these two teams, Tommy Pham is apparently a player that's been connected.
People, I'm seeing on Fireside Yankees, should the Yankees acquire Tommy Pham? Like, no.
He's not a difference maker. Like, he's a fringe player. He's just like a Mark Canha. Like, John could literally tell us the same thing we're kind of putting out there.
He's had a good season, but he's still what he is.
How much control is left after this year, John?
On who? Pham?
Yeah.
It's a 1-year deal. It's a rental.
Exactly. So why would you? And I'm not saying that the Mets would ask for like anything big in this system because like they got a number 30 overall prospect from Mark Canha. Just like, why would you make that deal if it's not going to be a difference maker? Heimer Candelario is already off the market, as we could talk about, but like they want reinforcements at like pitcher, catcher. Like which catcher is on the market? I mean.
I have no clue.
Cubs went from sellers to buyers like Mega Maid went from suck to blow in Spaceballs. Spaceballs. The only thing I know about Spaceballs is Michael Winslow, I think. Don't quote me on that. But no, I mean, as I said, just the approach by the Yankees is pretty it's pretty, I can't say it's feeble because that's the Mets. It's pretty plush. Pretty plush approach by the Yankees. Let's see what else. What else could we possibly? And once again, guys, fire your questions in the chat.
I'm
trying to see if I got any. So the Yankees also want Dylan Carlson. Luca, what do you think of that?
It'd be another. I'm gonna look at the numbers just to give you, some backup. But it just again,
Milwaukee Brewers.
What about Brewers?
No, Sunil asked.
They traded for him.
They traded for him. Yep.
But like, what is the appeal with some of these guys? Like, obviously, another rumor that was last week, the Yankees were interested in Seth Brown from the A's, who hits 186. But you know what? If you look at his Baseball Savant page, his exit velocity is in the 67th percentile. So that tells you all you need to know about all the rat bastards in those fucking analytics offices for the Yankees. But regardless, Dylan Carlson, I'm going to give you the numbers out flat. Hitting 230 on the season, 5 homers, 24 RBIs with 3 stolen bases, on base percentage 328, 673 OPS. I could deal with the on base percentage, but the OPS is garbage. He's only had one season with an OPS over 700.
And what's his like year by year batting average, I should say?
200 in 2020, 266 in 21, 236 in 22, 230 for 23. So I'm not asking him to be a high average hitter, even though the Yankees don't have a 300 average hitter, but still.
The Yes Network has already tweeted out what Aaron Boone said pregame about Herman, and they just tweeted it out now. So it seems like they're trying to save face, if you will.
Of course, it's the Yankee, it's the YPM.
Yankee propaganda machine.
Let's also
What's up, Bill?
What is up to Bill? Let's look at Dylan Carlson's stuff regarding the percentile rankings Baseball Savant. Outs above average, 79th percentile. Average exit velocity is mediocre at around 54 percentile. Chase rate, 72 percentile. Strikeout percentage, 56 percentile. Walk percentage, 67th percentile. Arm strength, 85 percentile. So it seems this guy's more of a plus fielder, but the Yankees need bats. So I don't really understand. Unless the Yankees get some kind of bat next to him, it's not going to work out. And plus, I know I just killed the Yankees for liking the stat, but he's not exactly a good hitter with exit velocity. And I know those geeks up there love him.
Yeah, of course.
Some exit velocity.
Mets want to give us something? Give us Polar Bear Pete Alonso. Someone suggests
you're not even getting him. Good luck.
I don't know who suggested it. Someone said the Mets should trade Alonso. I forget who said that. I don't remember, but somebody said it. Something along those lines.
No, they need to do something called extend him.
Something.
Mm-hmm.
Something.
Yeah, he's not.
But also, real quickly before I defer to Luca one more time, because I just want to do something with my setup real quick. Tomorrow at 3:30, we got the trade deadline stream. Bad Takes Brian's coming on. We got an Astros guy coming on. We got a Mets / NFC. Jesus Christ! I'm thinking my head's already in football, guys. And NL East guy as well. And then Thursday, of course, we got the Jets Browns stream. But Luca, you were saying?
I'm gonna get schooled on this, and I really don't care.
Just give me
because I know the Yankee fans. I actually thought about this last week, and I'm like, should the Yankees hire this person? Is he still available? And yes, I don't know if this guy's still suspended, but in an I don't think this would ever happen because obviously I don't think Brian Cashman's getting fired. I'm like, why don't the Yankees hire Jeff Lunau as an option? What would you think of that, John, if the Yankees hired Jeff Lunau? I know the cheating scandal. I know that shit.
I doubt they would. I just never could see it.
But I'm just saying, obviously it's a good fit. Obviously he was in charge of the 2017 team.
No, I know, but I doubt that. I doubt 100% that they would even think of that idea.
Yeah, it would also piss off the goons of the Yankee fan base because they're still hung up over this Yankees Astros cheating thing. There's some out there who still believe it. But Sunil says, exit velocity, don't get me started, boys. I'm about to rip out my Amazon-powered toilet bowl cover for the fecal statcast. Shit from my ass has a better launch angle and exit velocity. Interesting. I'll get to this. Will be, I'll get Alex to answer this when he comes back. Lunau, did Han Solo recruit Darth Vader? Oh, wait. I'm going to guess no. I'm not a Star Wars guy. Never was a Star Wars guy, but the answer is no. But I don't see why. I understand Lunau is a villain of the Yankee is in the past because the whole cheating thing, but he won. He won.
The Yankees cheated and lost, if anything. Do we all? And I'm not trying to be this anti-Yankee guy or whatever. The guy's kind of sour on the fan base. But you remember when the Yankees had that Apple Watch scandal?
Mm-hmm.
Back in remember that with the I think was it the same year that the Red Sox cheated?
It was I thought it was 2016. Was I wrong on that?
I don't know what year it was. All I know is the Yankees were supposedly cheating and they lost. And why? And then again, too, why would you cheat in 2016 when you weren't fucking going anywhere? But I don't know. Isn't Zach gonna train up under Aaron and get better? This is response.
One would hope. One would hope, Bill.
No, I've seen a ton of Jet fans kind of do that, and I'm not gonna obviously say these two are doing it. I should say these two, but no. Well, it was either the Apple Watch Blue City. It was something else. Remember the judge?
They were looking. They were I think looking
the
back
letter.
at TVs.
Yeah, whatever the TVs, all that sort of shit. Do you guys see Cole Beasley making the 53? I did a video on him today. So if you haven't already checked it out, yeah, definitely. But I'll say this, and then we'll get back to baseball because I did see some football comments in the chat, and this is not even my bridge to cross. This isn't even my car to drive. If you are a person that buys a bulk size of training camp tickets and tries to sell them on Amazon Marketplace, you're a fucking asshole, and you deserve
eBay actually.
You deserve to get your ass beat. No, I'm dead serious because that pisses me off. And I don't usually say shit like that, but like I've seen like, listen, look, I'm gonna be honest. There's sometimes where I'll get some extras to do for giveaways or whatnot, or I'll have an extra ticket.
It's for free though.
That day, but it's for free, right? It's for the growth of the community. Well, you got someone bought 34 tickets to Jets camp today.
And now they've decided to start selling them on eBay for $66.
Jesus.
So
that's the definition.
John, if you could do us a favor and send a helicopter to that guy's house.
On it.
It's like a little reminder. He's got to send a helicopter.
Helicopter to asshole
Jeff Fan's house.
eBay. Bang.
See, it works. It works. Why would they do that? Because they want money. They have no lives, and they don't got jobs. That's my opinion. But hey, listen, what do I know? But let's see. What's the Yankees? Still 5-1, but
the Yankees are threatening.
Threatening to what?
Score
what? That's exactly
the run.
Listen, here's my thing on the Yankees. It no longer matters to me. I don't want to say it no longer matters to me when they win, but it matters more to me when they lose because that's when all the excuses come out.
I'm not trying to dig at the Jets, but it sounds like a Jets mentality from like maybe last year or 2 years ago with Adam Gase.
Right. I understand where you're coming from. It's just my what would I call it?
Just gonna
apathy.
say sorry because the scoring threat has been neutralized.
So Anthony Rizzo grounded out into a double play.
No. Rizzo got to first. Stanton grounded out into a double play.
Giancarlo Stanton is washed. I hope everybody is aware of that. Like I've been saying this. Luca's been saying this. I know. Sean was saying this in 2021. If you haven't already, go back and watch. John too. Even before I knew John, Giancarlo Stanton's washed. It's so bad. And
I'm sorry to interrupt, Alex. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. You could have probably played Judge last night if Stanton wasn't taking up that DH spot. Because Stanton would have played 2 days in a row in right field. No, I'm sorry. Judge played right field, and they said, nah, we're going to sit him. That would be twice a series that Giancarlo Stanton would have played right field. And now you have a huge hindrance. But this guy does everything in the playoffs, apparently. So I'm sorry. I don't know anymore. Luca, you were saying something?
No, I was also saying what was I going to say? Somebody said in on Twitter, Michael K's trying to create his own spin with this whole bullshit because, he tries to think the fans are stupid when they're not. That's what the Yankees love to do. But regardless, I think somebody said Jeff Nelson was the only real one trying to say, why would they do that?
It's called I watch Yankee games on mute. What do I know? Stan looks like Superman after getting exposed to green kryptonite, frail as fuck. He's just a big, bulky guy of nothing.
His legs are cooked.
His legs are overcooked like a Thanksgiving turkey.
Mm-hmm.
Yankees threatening to eat Feeble's unicornios. Feeble has unicornios?
I don't, but okay.
Yankees need bats. Just get the ones from Gotham City and send them to Wuhan. Damn. They are not real Jet fans.
Who?
No. The people selling the tickets.
Yeah, okay. I thought he said me and Luca were. I was about to say for a sec.
Did the New York Jets want to draft? Jets fans want to draft Sam Darnold in 2018?
No, they did. They thought he was the best quarterback.
I did. I thought.
Here we go with this one. Cowboys can beat the Yankees. I'm just throwing it out there to spite the chat. The two, they're basically the same. Don't convince me to. And I'm not saying Sunil was convincing me, but you can't convince me to root for the Dallas Cowboys because I already root for the Dallas Cowboys in New York, the baseball team. The Yankee fans are this. Not saying all Yankee fans are like Cowboy fans, but there's a portion. Oh, we're gonna go to the World Series, the 27 rings, and then you got the Cowboy fans every year. It's our year. So, and you know what? It's just Cowboy fans. They don't annoy me Philly fans do. And it's just like my own fan base and the Yankees annoy me because they're so gullible. So, Feeble has a line of lotion
God,
bottles
no.
guaranteed to please. Oh boy.
No, Brad. No.
I guess not. I guess not.
No.
Let's see what else we got on the book. So that's right. Randall Grichuk went to the Angels. How about Luis Severino?
Severino needs to go. Throw him in the bullpen, DFA him, do whatever the hell you want.
Send him
He
to the
was
Mets.
terrible last night. Awful. And it's
You know,
just
it
so
would be
sad
funny.
'cause
It would be honestly, it would be funny if he did sign with the Mets in free agency.
I'm gonna pass on that. Thank you.
It was
You're
just,
gonna pass.
It's just
but
so
Billy
sad
Epler
to see his
won't.
downfall. I know, he was actually accountable for it. He's like, I feel him the worst pitcher in MLB right now, but it's tough to see him getting better from here throughout the second half because
He has what, the worst ERA on the team?
that's probably the case.
Josh
But,
Donaldson has a better
I'd like-
ERA than him.
I'd like to make the case that I don't even think this could be that hot of a take, but I think Luis Severino has been the worst Yankee on the field.
Like
Worst
period all
Yankee.
season.
Well, like worst Yankee player on the position players, pitcher. I think there's nobody worse than him. And there's been some bad Yankees on this team this year, but I don't know who's been worse. I mean, that's my vote.
I would say he's top 3.
I say he's number 1.
Like, would you really over Josh Donaldson though? Because Josh Donaldson hitting like 130.
And
know
Aaron
what?
Hicks for a time.
At least Donaldson can has a good glove at third still. I can't say Severino does anything well. Can you?
Okay. I mean that's a good
good
point.
argument.
I can't. I mean, the way he was last night, I mean, it was like batting practice for Baltimore in that first.
Literally everything that we've seen thus far mirrors to 2016. Severino was shit in 2016. He got moved to the bullpen. He got better. We're probably selling at the trade deadline just like 2016. Aging stars like Rizzo and Stanton, just like 2016 when it was Tex, Brian McCann, and Carlos Beltran.
Jonathan, what's up?
What's up, man?
Severino or Trevor Bauer, the worst pitcher and domestic abuser, and why? So wait, the worst. Well, I mean,
Wait, what?
Trevor Bauer's been shit in Japan, but like, well, then again, if you're gonna put domestic abuser, Domingo Germán fits in that category. Technically,
Yeah.
Domingo Germán just talked himself out of a TV ad spot for right guard because anything else would be uncivilized. Aaron Hicks wins hands down. I think Jets Mess would agree on that. Aaron Hicks would probably be the worst Yankee of this year. Have Derek Jeter replace Aaron Boone. I don't think Jeter would be a manager though. Like I would take A-Rod as a manager.
I don't know what kind of complete nymph. I got to come up with a new term because this is some other level of stupid.
You know what?
Tom-
I'm gonna say something right now, and I'm not gonna say I told you so. But my initial reaction to the Sean Casey hiring, I mean, no offense, Sean Casey, but like he's done nothing. I'm not saying you have talent, but like when you have the front office that you do, and you also have the manager that you do, and you're best friends with him. And you know what? That's the second time the Yankees have gotten a player from TV.
Aaron Boone.
Like
But I was going to say,
to be completely fair, Luca, and John, obviously in chat as well. I don't know when that's worked out. The only one I could name, John Lynch, the Niners GM. After him, Mike Mayock. After him, John Gruden. After him, Aaron Boone. Well, actually, really, same time span. After him, Sean Casey.
I'm trying to think if there's anyone else that's been.
Was Alex Cora ever on ESPN?
He might have been, but I think he also may have been. He was the bench coach for the. Was he a coach on the Astros?
Yeah, he was a bench coach. Right. My apologies.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anyone in basketball or.
Because I can't think of anything. Because that's not. I would think that sports teams kind of should have a little bit more, I would say awareness.
I can't think of a successful one besides Lynch with the Niners.
Yeah.
But that's also because he was a player too. So it's not like
worked out. That's a good one. Well, I mean, you could kind of say that in a way because he was manager in 2006. So that'd be like an even keeled type thing. Dead Space can replace Aaron Boone properly. I mean, if the players just played with no manager and they were just like given a lineup by a robot, I mean, there'd be no difference. Waste of a hire, they just made it more of a boys club. Yeah, no, they made it more of a Cub Scouts.
Scouts.
Basically, it's Cub Scouts, just or Girl Scouts, just no cookies. Reggie Jackson replaced Aaron Boone. I don't think so. I think a lot of Yankee fans. I think he's kind of isolated himself from the organization, and I have no idea why.
I guess he wasn't
Billy
made for
Martin did Sumio though, yes.
But I was also going to add in terms of to what I was going to mention, this clunker, this right wanker, Chris McGonigal. As dumb and incompetent as this is, you have to give credit to Aaron Boone. It takes balls to do this. He didn't have to go to Herman. He knows exactly what's coming in the postgame, and he still does it.
You know what? We're gonna reply to that tweet.
Come on, guys. Give in to the urge. Go ahead. Just type what you feel.
What a clunker. What a right wanker.
What a Brock.
An idiot. I said, do you have any idea what's going on right now?
Do we
like
need
you know that's Luca? You know that scene? You ever watched The Hangover 3?
Me, yes.
Okay. You know that scene where they're at the gas station?
Yeah.
And
yep, I know what you're referencing. Yep.
And then Stu Ed Helms says to Alan, do you have any idea what's going on right now? Yeah.
Nice.
I'm doing all the work. Phil's my assistant, and you're just standing there looking like an idiot.
Tonight's this guy's Twitter?
CMAC WFAN.
I'm gonna send you the tweet.
Yes, let's. I think it's time to help these boys out with a lesson in understanding.
I'd like to also add tonight's attendance at Yankee Stadium is 43,613, a little 4,000 short of a sellout.
Well, I mean that's still good, obviously in their part, not our part, because that's not really doing much of anything. Like, I mean, I won't go as far to tell people what to do with their money, but like at the same time, it's just not helping that the chicken buckets and. Listen,
the 99 burgers. Listen, the 99 burgers are good, but you know what? I'm not going back. Obviously,
I don't plan on going back. I don't like. I'm not saying ever. Like, I'm not going to make that promise, but I'm not going back for. I think I'll be going to my first Mets game of the year before I go to my next Yankees game, and that's not even just like saying, "Oh, you could be a Mets fan." No, it's just
It's because I had free tickets.
Essentially, that's what it was. Right. But even then, it was like, I remember I watched the Mets twice last year against the Marlins and the Brewers.
And they won both times, actually.
This is a good question. 2017 Giants or 2023 Yankees?
At least I fired McAdoo.
They did fire McAdoo, and you had Eli. Odell Beckham Jr. over Aaron Boone. I mean, yeah.
What does that say, though?
I guess, yeah. I mean, they're better. He's better in his craft. I mean, I would take Odell Beckham Jr. right now over Aaron Boone as anything. Like, I wouldn't trust Aaron Boone to mop my fucking floor. So, let's see. Just watch Cashman hire Aaron Hicks to replace Boonocchio. Carlos, I'm very convinced if they did fire Boone, Carlos Mendoza would be the next manager. And that would be it. No, this guy, no, that guy, nothing. It would be Carlos Mendoza. So, I don't know. I don't know, but okay. So,
by the way, I just want to mention this. Joel Sherman mentioned the Yankees are willing to trade players in the last year of their contract, such as Bader, Kiner Falefa, Peralta, and Severino.
I mean, like Wandy. I guess you could get something for Wandy. It's not like
send
a
him to
terrible
the Texas
idea.
Rangers. They need bullpen help.
IKF, you could probably sell to a team that needs depth. What were the other names on that list?
Harrison Bader, Luis Severino.
Harrison Bader, Luis
Severino, you're getting a Whopper Jr. for.
Yeah.
If that.
So we've had a few more sales, by the way, on the Fire Boone, Fire Cashman shirts. So
I don't think we should put the Yankees logo, but unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, you could get sued for that, unfortunately.
And the Yankees are a very paranoid organization. I mean, just look at last year when they tried to blame last season on the fans. I mean,
I don't think there's an organization that pisses on their fans more than the Yankees do.
Didn't they say you guys were vicious?
Oh, yeah. Dude, there's so many headlines from last year.
First of all, I
would say the Commanders were worse before they sold, but let's do the tally, folks. Let's do the tally.
By the way, shout out to Sox, Arizona, watching from Columbus, Ohio.
I'm ready, Luca.
All right, let's see. The Gene Afterman interview. What is she? The assistant vice president of the Yankees?
I can say a lot, but I'm not going to.
Gene Afterman is the assistant general manager and senior vice president.
Bob Clappish. That's
Bob Clappish saying that money is not the only thing separating Aaron Judge from the Yankees. It's the fans and how rowdy they are.
Fans too rowdy.
And how let's see, Joel Sherman and John Heyman making articles about.
Did you mention? I was looking at a comment. Did you mention the one about this year? Why the Yankees fans mad already?
That's Hal Steinbrenner, so you could write that down, John.
Mm-hmm.
I love how he's writing this down. We got to do this more often. But let's see.
I'm teaching everyone it is to be a good student.
Michael Kay going on ESPN saying the Yankees fans expect too much.
Okay. High expectations. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I mentioned Joel Sherman. I think you mentioned. I thought didn't Brian Cashman attack the Yankee fans in his interview, or he went out to dinner with Omar Minaya?
Yeah, he did say something. I remember that because I brought it up in broadcasting class. So how many is that on the tally?
5.
You don't become a professor without taking notes.
You gotta be prepared.
That's right.
Blue Cities. Dalvin Cook is also visiting the Cowboys. Is he?
I didn't see that. I know he's in South Florida right now.
Are we creating our own immaculate grid? That would be an interesting one. I don't know how would we do it though. That'd be an interesting one. 5 that we can remember. Yes.
Unfortunately, the thing is, here's another thing that goes back to why I was actually thinking about this last night. Another thing that this doesn't have to do with the fans. This is doing with how incompetent the Yankees are and how Yankees fans give too much credit to Hal Steinbrenner. Does anybody remember the period from last year, from when Brian Cashman's contract was up at the end of the season, and they waited 2-3 weeks to re-sign him instead of either re-signing him immediately or saying immediately that we won't re-sign him? Remember that process? And let's also mention that was right at the time where the Yankees had to re-sign Aaron Judge.
Right. So they were putting him in charge of negotiations, though he wasn't the GM.
That is correct.
Chomp, what's up? He says, how are you guys? The Yankees are losing already. Yeah, no, the Yankees suck, but we're doing fine. Listen, there's football season.
Listen, Harrison Bader's jogging the first, but it's all okay. It's all okay.
They shouldn't re-sign him. They really shouldn't.
Remember, Alex, it's not what you want.
You know what? It's not what you want.
I'd like to also add, John, this is a Mets update for you. According to Jack Harris, who is a beat writer for the Dodgers, LA Times, the Mets covet 6th prospect overall, Emmett Sheehan.
Ooh, that's the kid they brought up not too long ago.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so I need to get to something because there's actually light to this. Zeke Elliott is visiting with the Patriots. Yup, Cook had a visit with the Jets. Fans were vicious on the Yankees. Did I hear that right? Fans also bullied Bonocchio. The umpire bullied Bonocchio, too. They should sell the whole team but 3 players. Cole, Judge, and I'm guessing your third is Volpe. Dalvin Cook remains a free agent, and the playmaker made his pitch for joining the Dallas Cowboys. So I don't know how you guys feel about that one, but
I'd like to
Bill's
also
putting it
add
in.
Gary Phillips, the Yankee beat writer for the Daily News, tweeted that a day before the trade deadline, a light, quote unquote, light.
At the end of the tunnel?
No. Light fire Cashman chant broke out. Lights. They will never ever do a loud one.
And I must say, I've already gotten a few likes on this tweet.
I'm telling you, the Yankees fans now need to go to the stadium with the paper bags on their heads.
They'll just buy our shirts.
Or
literally
say I'm with stupid. Or I root for a stupid team. I don't know.
Yeah. They haven't offered him anything from what I could find. The Dodgers can give a lot of players in our farm system and still have a top 10 farm. Yeah. Yes, I did see that. Unfortunately, yeah, I saw that today. I mean, obviously I wasn't an 80s boy, but I do remember Peter Griffin's impression of Pee-wee's Playhouse. Well, there was two. There was Petey's Funhouse, and then there was the actual Petey's Playhouse.
Yes.
If you close your eyes, you could see Aaron Boone getting fired or announce his retirement after 2023. Nah, he wouldn't have the dignity, unfortunately. Unfortunately, he would not. But it's a good pipe dream, my opinion at least. But again, if you guys haven't already, go buy our Fire Boone, Fire Cashman shirts because all these content creators, and I'm gonna take a stab because you know what? I don't even know what the word is. I never buff up our channel like a lot of people buff up theirs. So you know what? What I will say is this: all these content creators want to come out here and talk their jab about the Yankees suck. They got to do this. They got to do that. Well, guess what? They're not even giving you something to wear, right? They're not even giving you something to wear. So go get your Fire Cashman, Fire Boone shirts. And if you have yours, if you don't have enough money, just share them with everybody else. Brown paper bags that read "Brainless Trash Can lives here." That's true. That's actually, I like that. Or you could write it like "Brainless Trash Can was here." Do you think the Yankees will be under 500 when the season is over? No, they'll be like, you know what's so sad, guys? I had this team winning the division.
I think I had them in second place to Toronto. Pretty sure that was my prediction. And
I agree, Blue City. None of this would happen if George is alive. And Luca, just explain briefly before we move on, how the fans of the new era love George Steinbrenner.
Listen, George Steinbrenner had his flaws, and we all get that. But there's so many Yankee fans that have never seen his teams talk shit on him or actually seen one of his teams win. Because he was this, he was that, he was racist, he was overpowering, all this different stuff. They talk shit, but they don't know winning. That's what it comes down to. The current not the current Yankee fan, should I put it? The new age Yankee fan doesn't understand winning. That's why some people unfortunately fall for the facade that is the organization. Because everything's okay. It's all okay. We don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
John, do you want to hurt anybody's feelings?
I'm a nice guy, so I don't really know if that's in my DNA.
I mean, you could always try.
All right, I'll try.
He'll try. Okay, he's gonna try, guys. But let's see. If you got any more questions, comments, guys, keep throwing it our way. Was George in control when they won the title in 2009? I want to say he gave it up to Steve. Steve Swindle. I want to say he was the guy, and then they switched it over to Hal. Like I want to, because I'm pretty sure that's in history. Now, Luca, look that up for me, please. But I'm pretty sure George retired or gave the access to Steve Swindle in like 2005. Then the Swindle, I think, was a part of that team 2009, and George was obviously still, he was still alive, part of the organization, whatever. But then a few years later, they switched it over to Hal.
The reason that they revoked his access is he had a DUI.
Who?
Swindle.
Oh.
I'd also like to mention that he was the successor in 2005, but 2007 he had the driving under the influence. But another thing, that moron McGonigal went off on a caller saying that said Griffey was better than Ohtani.
Wait, what? Wait. Say, I'm sorry. Say it. So Griffey Jr.
Griffey Jr.
is better than Shohei Ohtani.
I should call his show one day and just totally blast him. No, I'm serious. I'm like, do you know what's going on right now? But that's an interesting debate, nonetheless.
It is. It's a hard debate.
I got a reply that says you forgot Fishman. Well, let me reply to this guy. Fishman sucks. Who hired him? So that's my reply to that. I see this Yankee team have the next 5-10 game stretches going in cynical fashion, finishing 1-9, 2-8, 1-9, 2-8, 1-9. This effectively puts them at 62-93. Wow, okay. I remember he was explaining this to us in a group chat after the final 7 and 66-96. There better be changes if it's 66-96 the way this season ends. No, I'm dead serious. I will literally show up with picket signs at Yankee Stadium with my Fire Cashman, Fire Boone shirt on. You want to take that to the bank? Take it to the bank right fucking now. Jordan was a ruthless killer when he was owner. He would get anyone and everyone. He didn't care if he paid the tax. He would welcome about paying most of the players deals he had left. Yeah, I mean, literally one instance that you could kind of take off of that. Go to the story. Now, obviously, if you guys follow him on Twitter, Gary Sheffield Jr., or we had him on, I would say about a year ago, and he told the story about how his dad was signed. And George basically caved in because Sheffield wanted $13 million a year. So that just tells you, obviously, because Sheffield was a great player and that should be a Hall of Famer, he got him on the team and all that sort of stuff. I mean, that he was willing to go with the extra mile. But, of course, we had to stay under the luxury tax with Hal and Brian Cashman. It was left to Steve. Steve had a scandal, and it went to Hank. And then after A-Roy was signed, Hal took over. And you know what? Rest in peace to him, because I know he passed away a few years ago. But I would have really – when A-Rod was signed. So that was what? And I'm talking 07. The extension. 07. Okay.
Yeah. Because that's when he opted out.
All right. Okay, that sounds about right. How did Girardi only won one championship? The Yankees couldn't even do it again. He almost did in 2017. Right, but also, like, and I get it, the Yankees had to kind of move on from Girardi at some point. But anyway, but at the end of the day, Girardi was tough on his players, and he probably was gone not just because of the lack of World Series success. It's the fact that he probably argued with the front office a shit ton of times. If this goes down, I'll fucking fly up to the NYY News TV Day 2 with a fucking personal vendetta against the front office requesting how to sell this dumpster fire. Yeah, you and me both, brother. You might get Frank the Tank to cause an earthquake if Curse Alexa leads a riot. Well, I wouldn't necessarily lead it for the Mets, though. I will say that.
That's all me. That's the I'll be the front line and center for any riot for that.
Well, I just don't think that. Maybe. Now, I could be underestimating here. I don't think John has had enough of Epler. And I'm not saying this in a way of, like, degrading John's anger. But I don't think he's had enough of Epler and Showalter like I've had enough of Cashman and Boone.
Yeah, but I've had enough revolving door than you've had enough of Cashman and Boone. And that's not even a close argument.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point, but it is only under one owner now. Yeah, Steve Cohen.
Well, the new owner is why I have hope. Other than that.
What's hope? What's hope?
I don't know.
You know what? Bold prediction right now. Luis Severino signs with the Mets next offseason.
I will make sure that contract never happens.
John's going to go to Queens and rip up that contract.
Tear it up.
He's going to send a helicopter.
And every time Billy Epler tries to write up a new one, he takes it from Epler and rips it up.
What's up, Jeff? What's up, guys?
What's up, man?
What did you think of the Cards moves? I don't think they should have dealt Montgomery.
You
know what? I like that question, of course, because we're still talking trade deadline, whatever. What did they get in return for Monty?
Let me
check
look up. You got it, Luca?
Yeah, I'll take it.
I'm going to get back to you on this one, though, because it's a very good question. We were actually talking about your buddy Dylan Carlson earlier because the Yankees have interest in him.
Cardinals received Thomas Sagazy, Takoa Roby, and John King. I'll look where they are on the prospect list.
I know Sagazy was the top prospect for the Rangers at the time. So
Sagazy was the top prospect of the Rangers, and they sent him for Montgomery.
Not the number one, but their best in the trade. Yeah, not their number one guy. I know he was a top 10 for sure.
Okay, so I'll have Luca do some research on that. What is up to Tudo? It says massive salutes and respects to Big Boss House. Luca, little Johnny, all diehard Giants fans in the building. Greetings from Edinburgh, Scotland, 2:14 a.m.
Whoa!
Respect to you, my man.
Tudo.
The Yankees are officially the 2017 New York Giants. Yeah, I mean, I don't like memories of that year, but John, don't be so sure the way this season. Okay, Luca, you were saying?
I was going to say Roby is the fourth best prospect in the Cardinals system. Sagazy is the 8th best prospect in their system. His ETA is next year. And John King. King is, I don't think he's a prospect. He might be just a pitcher.
Yeah, I've heard that name before. There could be like 100 John Kings, though.
He's, I think, in the majors, actually, or at least in the AAA. Just like
we have a little fun fact here. This is the 25th time tonight, marks the 25th time an opposing starter has gone 7+ innings versus the Yankees this season, 6 more times than any other team. Now, who are those 2 other teams? Who's 2 other teams that have let a pitcher go 7 or more innings? A total of 19 times. I'll make you guys guess. This season, by the way.
The Mets?
No.
Nobody
go on Twitter.
I'm not.
Except maybe the chat. This one is easy.
Say it again. Say the category again.
The Yankees are the team in the league. They've let pitchers go 7+ innings 25 times on them. There's 2 teams at 19. The number is 19 instead of 25. That's one.
In Kansas City.
That's another.
Oh, okay. I didn't look it up, I promise.
John, don't be so sure. The way the season is aged like this year was a century in itself. The gap will close sooner than you think.
I will say this, Sunil. The Yankees are a lot closer to the Mets than people think.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't disagree.
Remember, the only 2 series wins in the past month and plus, Royals and Athletics. That's it.
The Feebles.
That is it.
Literally take the Royals series out. The Yankees have not won one. They literally have Mets disease. The Angels are making moves when they're 4 out, and the Yankees haven't made one move yet. They're sitting ducks. They're not doing anything. And I've changed my stance about 100 times on the trade deadline. One of my first stances was don't do anything. Like literally stand pat. Do not sell. Do not do anything because it's not going to happen. Nothing. Feeble will personally shaft Epler if Feebles sign.
I'll bring a pitchfork, a spear, anything.
Frankie Montas. That's a good question, Luca. Where is Frankie Montas?
Let's look it up. Because wasn't he making some signs of progress? And we haven't heard about him. Let's see. 2 weeks ago was his last update. Shut down briefly with soreness.
General soreness.
By the way, this is Wheatons, guys. This is tonight's snack of the night.
Wheatons, eat this. I know they have Matt's lefty, but they definitely need arms.
Yeah, they do.
That.
They do.
I can see that, but I think that's a good return for Monty. I just want to see what other trades happen with St. Louis. Also, Jordan Hicks was traded.
Yes,
today to the Milwaukee, not Milwaukee Brewers, the
Jays.
I never see Tudo's chats anymore. I even check my Google account to make sure I didn't mute him. It's weird. I would say there's 2 settings that usually, I've seen it before with certain people. It's there's top chat and there's live chat. Live chat, all messages are visible. Top chat, some messages are visible, some are not. So maybe it's something along those lines, Bill. A's and Royals, Kansas City and A's, you guys are correct. Sorry, I meant to say the Yankees are officially becoming the 2017 Giants, except nobody's going to get fired, unfortunately. What are your thoughts on the right fielder? Not sure how he gets hits. He buckles on his legs so much. Not a good sign, in my opinion. The right fielder for the Cardinals or the Yankees? Well, I'll give you this. Stanton is old for the Yankees. Right? Let's see. Who's the right? There's Nootbaar. There's Carlson. I'm thinking of the outfield right now for
I know Jordan Walker's in left.
okay.
Tyler O'Neill.
O'Neill could
Tyler
be
O'Neill, garbage. Garbage. But
there's also
yeah. And then also, if, like you're referring to Judge, he just sometimes can't stay healthy, but he's an impact player. So I hope I got all fronts covered. If I didn't, please ask me again and I'll answer. John just turned 50 in April. Watching the Yankees baseball makes me feel like I'm 60 already. I said it to Jonathan, who was in the chat earlier when I was speaking to him a few weeks ago. I said, this team makes me age a long time. Age years. I think he's talking about Jordan Walker. Yes.
Yeah. I like him.
Yeah, he's a good player. I remember when they sent him down earlier in the year for Taylor Motter. That was so bad. I'm like, how can anyone defend this? Stanton seems like he's 60 years old with how slow he runs. Yeah, no, he's pretty old, at least in terms of that. And if we never hired Aaron Boone, instead we hired A-Rod, I would say the Yankees would do better. But Brian Cashman,
head of the snake.
Yeah. So I tweeted out, what was I going to say? I tweeted out, is Frankie Montas in purgatory? So someone replies to my tweet, he's playing backgammon with Carl Pavano. So that's a name. And then someone put a laughing emoji. And then obviously it's gaining traction as we speak and whatnot. But yeah, let's see. John, don't talk with your mouth full of food.
I didn't.
Yeah, that time, but I don't think you did. But Luca, if you want to maybe go on to like some other notable trades that we could talk about.
There was the AJ Pollock trade that this San Francisco Giants execute because they're still trying to get in the mix in terms of trying to get back into the wild card. Right now, the Giants stand. They're in second place, actually, in the wild card, so they're trying to maintain the position. Arizona has fallen to third place.
I do have an update, by the way, for Josh Hader. Opposing team that recently engaged on Josh Hader suggested the Padres are pricing him high enough to believe the star closer is almost surely staying. I don't know what the Padres like. What are the? I think the Padres are still what, fourth place? Is that, am I right on that one?
They should sell, but they're not going.
They should. Again, it's like an ego thing because like they should sell, but they won't.
That's AJ Preller for you.
Another Nimrod.
But the thing was, Arizona's in third place. They're a game back of the wild card. I wouldn't be surprised if they bought. Did they buy yet? The Diamondbacks, the Paul Sewald they just got.
Yeah.
They got some prospects in return, I believe. The Cubs acquired Jose Cuas. I don't know who much that is. Cincinnati acquired lefty reliever Sam Moll from the A's. Let's see. Cubs acquired Heimer Candelario. I know some Yankee fans roar over that name. I'm like, I'm not interested because I'm pretty sure he's in his walk year. We already covered, I think, the Kana trade. Sewald obviously traded for Josh Rojas.
I have a question to ask John, but Luca, keep some of those trades in mind. I also want to get to some comments. I wouldn't have signed Bauer. I mean, I could have signed Bauer maybe like 2 years ago or something along those lines, but now he looks a little washed. So Stanton is the modern day Vlad Guerrero Sr. as far as outfield goes. 2010 World Series, Guerrero Sr. was in right field and it was like watching a diesel locomotive then. Stanton must have been watching. Trevor Bauer was unfairly banned from the MLB because the commissioner does it. That's a ticky-tacky issue, but like I still think for some reason, whatever it is, like Trevor Bauer hasn't pitched well in the Japanese league, but I mean, he was even if he was like innocent or whatever the case may be, you know, the MLB didn't suspend him. He was never going to be on the Yankees because him and Garrett Cole apparently have shit that goes back to college. So there's your roadblock. Hot take: Jets Giants Super Bowl 58. Well, which Super Bowl did we just have right now? I can never keep track. Is that Super Bowl 56, 57 that we just had?
I believe it was 57. I could be wrong, but
yeah. I mean, I would like to see that. That would be my house would not be safe to be in. Probably either team wins because obviously my house is full of Jet
So
fans.
I got some recent trades. We already covered Jordan Hicks traded for Adam Kloffenstein and
Also, just to briefly touch on the Mets for a minute, John, how do you feel Epler has done so far in terms of return? Like, if you were to give a grade out for his sell-offs, I would say B or anything under that.
I go B-, honestly.
Because that Robertson trade, you still could have gotten some things.
Yeah, so the way I see it is the Robertson trade, I think, was a bad trade for us. Bad trade. And that's because of the quality of the prospects. I don't really think anyone's – not that I don't think, you know, I don't want to poop on prospects. That's not what I'm here to do. But I think when you have one of the better relievers on the market and you kind of only get that for him in your division too. So it's not, again, you know, like I said, you know, remember when I know this is about Jeff Brigham and the Eliezer Hernandez trade that these clowns traded for. When you have the only scouts that are just as important to your own team are the teams in your division. Why? Because A, they're your rivals. So you should know how your rivals are playing. You should know who's really good and who's really bad. Now, I wouldn't have done that trade for Robertson. The Scherzer trade is where they hit the spot. Getting Acuna's brother, Luis Angel Acuna, beautiful. I like his speed. I like his ability to drive the ball, which made me really happy they got him. The Canna trade, I kind of expected something like that, a double-A or triple-A arm. You know, that, like we said, Canna's like a average to below average player. He's nothing special. So we didn't really get a special project.
Washing machine.
That kind of sums up Canna. But in terms of overall grade, I'd say a B- for now. I want to see if Verlander gets moved. I want to see if Pham gets moved, Raley, whoever it might be. Because Verlander, not only do that Dodgers rumor, but apparently the Astros are in talks again. Might want to have a reunion with Justin Verlander.
Let's see. I got to get some comments here. I got my second hole in one today. 188 par 3, 6 iron, 78 total downhill.
Not bad, Jeff.
Very good, Jeff. Proud of you. Keep going. Suno says 58 is upcoming. We just played Super Bowl 57. That's originally what I thought. I never keep track of with this. If we could have a Yankees Mets 2000 World Series, then we could have a Giants Super Bowl. Yeah. Tell us how you really feel, John. Mark Canna is shit. I hope the Dodgers get Justin. He kept killing us in the playoffs.
I mean,
and you know how bad that is? You know how bad that is, John? Is that you know for a fact, and I said this, when the Mets signed Verlander, I said it's a good move in the regular season, not in the postseason, because he cannot pitch in the postseason. DeGrom could. Because I think he was the only good guy that came out of that Padres series, right?
Yep.
So I originally said, I'm like, this is, it's not as good of a move as everybody thinks it is. I mean, yes, I ended up being right. That's not what I'm trying to bank on here. But, we know how bad he is in the playoffs, and the Yankees still can't hit him. So, but it just says a lot of things. You were saying, John.
Right. Now, if the Mets wanted to go after someone of the Dodgers, I mean, Sheehan, I would definitely – a 23-year-old controllable starter who's already gotten some major league experience this year. Not having, a good season, but, he's had good games. Right. Another top pitcher I like, Gavin Stone, if he's in that category on the Dodgers. But there's also Astros prospects that I was taking a look at. Could be a Colton Gordon, or if they want an outfielder, the Astros got plenty of outfield prospects, which is crazy to think of. But no, yeah, and that's why I'm excited for tomorrow's deadline. I'm hoping we sell. I'm even more. I want to sell.
I was just looking at a clip. Two things. One with the Yankees, one with Mets. Justin Jarvis's pitching, form kind of looks like Chris Bassett's.
I didn't make that connection. I watched a little bit of a video of him before I came on tonight. But I didn't pick up on that. Maybe I got to watch some more.
Yeah, and I don't really go off this stat often, but Anthony Rizzo has a lower WRC plus weighted runs created than Chris Davis did in his final season.
I'm gonna do the rest of the show like this if you guys don't mind.
Yeah, Sunil, Jacob deGrom is done for the season.
Yeah, Jacob's done. He's been done. That's why they got all these pitchers. Like, if you look at the amount of pitchers they have, it's literally insane. It's I'm wondering also like how many of them won years. Like Jacob deGrom, Andrew Heaney, Dane Dunning, Jordan Montgomery. Literally, hold on. There's an entire list. I think Garrett Richards is one of the names. So hold on. Let me take a look. There's like a whole list of fucking names out there. Gotta find this super big list of pitchers. Knew that one. Yeah. Come on. All right. So I can't find it, but whatever. It's just they have a lot of pitchers and whatnot. Which New York? I'm gonna wait until John comes back for this one. Which New York team will win a championship first? All depends if the Mets want to, that's the team to trade with for them. Yeah, I mean, it all depends. Like, again, I think they're gonna sell to the highest bidder, whether it's Tommy Pham or Justin Verlander. Who do you think? I think we ought to make a prediction.
Okay.
Now, obviously, maybe you could ask some of the guys on the show tomorrow. Who do you think gets Justin Verlander?
I'm gonna go Astros.
I'm going to go Dodgers. I'm going to be different.
The Dodgers are asking, I think, the Mets to take a portion of the salary.
I mean, that shouldn't I'm not saying it's that hard, but it also as well is like they signed him. They're kind of in that shithole. They've eaten money on almost every guy they've sold.
Canna.
Robertson,
I don't think Robertson, Canna, and Max Scherzer.
Max Scherzer. Like, what difference does it make at this point? You're going to have to eat either way.
It's a lot of money to eat, though, to be fair.
I think the Mets want pitching, so I say Dodgers. Yeah, no, I'm going to say Dodgers as well. All right, let's answer this one. Which New York team will win a championship first?
I
ain't saying Yankees.
No. Let's see. Let me think of teams that are close. The Jets are close.
Uh-oh.
What
Angel
happened?
Hernandez made his season debut tonight, and he already messed up a call.
Oh, jeez.
So that just tells you everything you need to know. But what was I going to say? Which New York team will win a championship first?
In all of sports, is that the question? Like all the four major sports?
In New York sports. The Jets are one of the closest.
Are the Knicks the closest?
They're one step away. They need that big, obviously, the big move for the big grand star.
Yeah, they need the.
So I could say that's one of them. What about the Devils, John?
Maybe it's them. Maybe it is them.
If you factor it in, yeah, it could be.
Maybe
okay, so if Devils is one, I would put like Jets or Knicks or like I don't know what the thing with even though I'm a cat, I don't know if the Rangers are going to regress at all. That's my thing. It's kind of like my worry with the Giants, if you will. Champaz says the Jets are the closest.
Okay, I like the confidence.
All right. I mean, I hope.
I think they did win a chip before everyone else did. Wins a championship first before
they won like 2 years ago, didn't they? NYCFC.
Yeah, but like if we're being completely transparent, like that, mostly you don't consider that. But I'm just saying, just to put it out there, what most people do. What is up, disgruntled?
What's up, man?
Disgruntled.
The New York Red Bulls.
Yeah, the one that team plays in Jersey, one team plays in Queens now. Whatever, the situation is.
Manchester City.
And now the Yankees have tweeted, well, the Yankee Videos SNY account has tweeted out a picture of Cillian Murphy from Oppenheimer.
So I actually, it's funny that you mentioned Angel Hernandez because I just got it sent to me what the call was.
I saw it.
Oh, it was bad.
Oh, yeah, no, it was pretty bad. Why MLB continues to try him out, I can't possibly fathom, but hey, listen, what do I know? I don't know how you're doing either, I must say. Like, I don't know. Let's see. Any other trades we could probably go over? Also, I just wanted to add this as well. I don't know if Luca added it in. The Tigers are definitely trading Eduardo Rodriguez and Michael Lorenzen. It's just which team blinks at the high price tag.
Lorenzen's not had that good of a season, though, right?
I would look up stats-wise.
He had an ERA like 4 or 5, and he was selected to be an All-Star, which was ridiculous.
I'm going to look at Eduardo Rodriguez. I know he had the heart condition a few years ago. 2.95 ERA, 6-5.
He's someone that's been good this year on a crap team.
Right. He's not a number one either, so but the Tigers suck. So Lorenzen 5-7, 3.5 ERA. So maybe
guys that are available.
If they didn't get Savali, I would say the Rays probably would get Lorenzen. So I feel like they take a high ERA pitcher and make him down to like a 2. Or maybe if they're getting more pitching, because I know they probably get more bats, I think the Orioles maybe take a chance on Lorenzen.
They already took a chance on Fujinami too.
Mm-hmm.
So or maybe the Astros is kind of a team there.
The Dodgers are looking for pitching.
The Dodgers, yeah, if they're looking for pitching. I don't think the Dodgers, though, are that type of team where you could send a bullshit pitcher over there and they'd be the type of team to, like, better him up. I feel like that's more the Rays or Astros type thing. Go ahead. What about the Braves? Because they've been silent.
Have they?
Yeah, they haven't made a move yet.
That's true.
Honestly,
but I was gonna recap the other trades. So I didn't even realize.
Hey, wait! Time out. John, you want to say that thing that Big Poppy always says?
I got it.
Wait. Hold on.
The Yankees lose.
They lost.
Yankees lose. Sorry, I forgot, man.
You're fine. The Yankees are just 4 games over 500, by the way. Disgruntled, yeah, what's up? Are the Braves the best team in the NL? Yeah, they are. But what did the Mets get for Connor? They got a 30th overall prospect in the system for the Brewers. He's a right-handed pitcher, Junior Jarvis.
Justin Jarvis.
It was a J of some sorts. I couldn't connect it, but
I got the other trades that I bookmarked. So I didn't realize this till now. CJ Cron obviously reuniting with his former team in the Angels.
Randall Grichuk also went to the Angels.
Yes, they were traded for 2 minor league pitchers, Jake Madden, right-hander, left-hander, Mason Albright. Obviously, went over the Giants won, the Reds won as well, the Cubs, the Rays trading for Adam Savali. Kyle Manzardo, the first baseman, will be in return. Paul Sewell to the Diamondbacks for
Can I say something real quick?
Yes.
I will say this, right? Aaron Judge had 3 walks tonight. What does that tell you guys? That tells you every single time they're going to walk Judge and strike everybody else.
They're not stupid. Do you think the Yankees are stupid? Do you think the Orioles are stupid? Do you think the Rays are stupid? Of course they're going to pitch around him.
This has been the issue since last playoff.
His on-base percentage is just going to go up and up and up and up.
It's not going to mean anything. John doesn't have the Latino accent. If you want to hear it, send me the streamer link.
No, I don't have a Latino accent.
Well, no, of course. But that's, of course, with all that other stuff. Does anyone remember the New York Mets 2015 World Series? I mean, this guy would. And
I was rooting for the Royals happily.
Yeah, my neighbor was a Royals fan, and he was also working for I think the Yankees is like a cameraman at the time or something along those lines. But I mean, the Royals were just a fun team to root for. So I'm like, yeah, I don't like the Mets anyway. But
Unfortunately, that team only lasted like 2 years before
just like the Nationals. Just like the Nationals. But hey, what do I know? What do I know? Any other trades to remark?
I'll double check my bookmarks. I think we went over the major trades. I know the Jordan Hicks trade traded for Sam Robertson and Adam Kloffenstein. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think there's any other major trade that I have to go over.
I'm just gonna advertise our shirt again.
Disgruntled says, "Gotta love the Wilpons." You mean the coupons because they were so cheap?
Who said that? Which name? Like who created
UT
that?
called Fred Wilpon Fred Coupon.
Fred Coupon.
True, because he was so cheap. I mean, John loved the Wilpon days.
No, he didn't. He thought they were garbage. You know?
I mean, was he? Let me ask you this, John. Was he the worst owner you ever had as the owner of a team? Of any team that you've ever rooted for, was he the worst owner? Him and was it Fred and what's his brother's name? Jeff Wilpon.
Blue City, the Dodgers already traded for him. And he wasn't having that good of a year, I don't think.
No. The Wilpons were not worse than the Johnson brothers.
Damn.
Okay, that's fair.
They have the Johnson
brothers. But the thing is, I'll tell you this, the Johnsons spend money, though.
They do.
I have my qualms with them, but the Johnsons do spend money, but
I have to say, there's been a lot more embarrassing moments for the Jets than there has been for the Mets.
True, they didn't.
They allow that stuff to happen.
Right.
I'm not talking about the current state of the team now. I'm saying in the past decade, 20 years.
No, obviously, he's talking about the current state of the team.
No.
Let's see. The Yankees are 10-15 in the month of July. I'll give you the one.
I wonder if the Mets have a better record.
They might
in July. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean after that horrible month of June, but like the Yankee fans would probably say something along the lines of, well, at least we were better than the Mets in the month of June, right? But we won one series and they won 0. Like, well, I'm sorry that excuse doesn't work anymore. Oh, we're better.
You guys want to hear the Chris Kirshner asking Aaron Boone about what happened with Herman? Aaron Boone said Herman was cleared in the 5 o'clock hour. Threw a couple off the mound at 6 p.m. Said it was not a consideration to start him because of how close it was to game time.
So what's the prep? Why do you need that much preparation? Like seriously, like you could just say, "Oh, we're gonna save Burrito for another day." The Wilpons knowingly used a Ponzi scheme to pay for their contracts. How are they not the worst?
I mean, I'm not praising the Wilpons. I think the Johnson brothers have been worse.
Loves the Wilpons.
No, I don't. That's disgusting.
Also, Teoscar Hernandez is drawing interest from at least half a dozen teams for tomorrow's deadline. Clubs that are interested: Phillies, Blue Jays, Giants. But why would the Hey, hold on. The fuck? Why would the Blue Jays be interested in him? They let him go because they're a bunch of dumbasses. I never liked that. When they traded, I love the shirt. I just don't care about baseball. Hey, listen, it's not just entertainment or facts. It's comedy as well. So we're hoping to inspire that. But I just like the Blue Jays when they traded away Lourdes Gurriel and he became an all-star, and Teoscar Hernandez, they traded him away. They didn't know what they were doing. But he's also got 141 strikeouts this year. So that's just worth noting. We were actually just doing that. MH, what's up? We were just talking about your favorite owners, the Wilpons. Toronto is perpetually mid. I don't think that there's a better saying than perpetually mid. It's like they're always the same. Always the same. Though they are above Boston, but then again, too, that doesn't really say a lot now, does it? But hey, what do I know? Dr. John in the building. Well, did you get your doctorate, John?
Doctor? How does that? That's a nice. You know what? I did.
You did.
Yeah. Put it down. Dr. Angry John.
Doctor.
We're upgrading, guys.
Yep. Young guys time. Yep. Where's Chapman signing this offseason? That's an interesting one.
Are you talking about Aroldis or Matt Chapman?
I think he's talking about Aroldis.
Aroldis? Okay. That depends how well the Rangers do. Because he's already made a lot of money.
Well, yeah. I don't think the Rangers will re-sign him. I feel like it's going to be a 1 year.
Probably not.
It depends because they have a shit ton of like starters, and I feel like salary is going to be an issue sooner or later. Hey, going to the game on Thursday, the Yankees and the Mets game.
You going to the move?
The Mets, who the Mets play this Thursday? Oh, Yanks Astros. Oh, all right. Oh, that's right. Because last year you were there and you met us for the Nasty Nestor night, right? Well, if the Yankees were a little bit better, I would consider going, but don't want to see my team getting their ass beat. But I hope you have fun laughing at the Yankees, MH.
It's like watching a comedy show.
Tickets are now, well, I mean, that's actually, let me see how low the tickets have bounced to. Thursday, I'm not going to go either way also as well because we have the stream. $14 low. Usually it'd be higher, but guess what? This team is Garbo. So it doesn't really say much of anything. If only the Mets were home. Today was my... Oh, happy birthday, MH.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday.
Nice.
I'm thinking the Mets are the Dodgers. Matt Chapman. Okay.
Oh, okay. So he was. That's that depends who.
You know what? I feel like the Yankees fans are going to be in on that again. Matt Chapman.
You don't. I don't
base.
know if he's necessarily he's a good player.
I'm not advocating totally for him because I feel like this year he had an out of world year, and that's again. It's just like a reoccurring trend, like Cody Bellinger. I didn't want him because he was playing out of character. Matt Chapman, right. 261. Normally, this dude does not bat below. He doesn't bat above 250 usually. Like he won't even bat over 240 sometimes.
I like him because of his defense. I like him there.
Yeah, he's a Gold Glover.
I feel like Chapman's would take. I'm not saying it. Excuse me. Holy crap. I feel like Chapman's one of those free agents where, with this. Holy hell! I'm sorry, guys.
Disease.
Yeah, it's attacking my health. Need some H2O. What the hell that was? But anyway.
When you're ready.
Sorry. Anywho, I feel like Chapman's the kind of guy that is going to go after the big contract kind of player. Like whoever offers him the most money, I think that's where he's going to end up.
Right. By the way, I just want to preface everybody on this. I'm literally considering making another Aaron Boone video again after this, but I'm not gonna go there yet. Armand, what's up?
My man.
The doctor needs some cure. Yes. Matt Chapman, career 243 hitter. That's what probably bothers me. Are the Yankees being transparent with their fan base?
No.
Fuck no. Matt's agent is known for demanding top dollar only issue. Otherwise, he's a great player. I mean, actually, yeah, you would know because you're an A's fan.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Is he a Scott Boras client?
I wonder. I think you could actually look that up on Spot Track.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think Chapman's a really good defender with some pop in his bat. I love his defense. I think he's an excellent defender, I should say. But
Chapman is a Boras client.
Mm-hmm. See?
Yeah.
What's up, Jack? Welcome to the chat tonight.
What's up, Jack? Matt's agent is, so I went over that one. 23 and got my eyes on the money and mental strength. I don't need mental health. I got mental wealth. Well, listen, everybody's got a different
good for you, bro.
Slogan to live by. Top 10 worst head coach and GM of all. This would be a good one for definitely later. I bookmarked it. 152 home runs Hank's probably going to rest Judge tomorrow. Yeah, they'll find an excuse.
They should. You know what? I'm gonna be completely fair. They should just sit him the rest of the season. This team's going nowhere anyway.
Yeah.
Honestly, I can't really argue that. Like, I haven't straight out said it, but
Get the surgery, sit him out.
you were being completely fair on that one.
Yes, I was being completely fair.
Okay, he's being completely fair. Why not completely transparent?
Take that Dolphins thing off. Take
We
that.
brought it back, folks. It's football
It's
season.
football season.
Oh man,
I hate the
I think I
Dolphins.
had one with the Green Bay Packers logo.
No. You're not going to do that.
Damn, I can't find. I have Patriots, Bills, Dolphins, and BYU. So, we got this one more time.
Oh no.
One
No.
more time.
Uh-oh.
Just briefly, this is not here. Once again, asking for Luca to be
Football season is underway back. Can't wait to say that.
I can't wait to call out of work tomorrow and use one of my 100 sick days. Try saying that 5 times
Pretty
fast.
good.
But yeah, no, I mean, what for the call out for the I guess the Jets game. Yeah, he's a Boris client. Is a Correa Boris client? I believe he is, right?
Yeah,
yes,
I would think he is.
He is. I know that for a fact.
Yeah, I now it makes all sense. That was the Antonio Brown quote. John, what did you think of the Mark Canha trade?
I thought it was what I expected. I didn't think he'd get anything big, and we get a AAA arm. So we'll see how what happens.
So yeah, let's see what else. MLB trade deadline. Oh, you're calling out for the trade deadline. Oh, all right.
All right. Well, join us 3:30 tomorrow, Armin.
Yeah, we have a huge panel. Unfortunately, I will probably not be on the stream because I will be at Giants training camp. I thought it was a 10 a.m. practice. It is a 5 p.m., but I need to be comfy, watch MLB Network, be on my phone. That sounds, yeah, and also, like, you got
Good for
Twitter,
you,
so
man.
you got the notifications on, like, certain beat reporters and shit like that.
Everybody needs an off day once in a while.
Is it a blessing in disguise that the Mets suck? Look at Alvarez and Beatty getting more time. John, I'll leave to this.
I'm happy with the kids playing. Play the kids.
I'm still being told by some Met fans that Beatty's not it.
You see what really frustrates me is that I know he's struggling. I get it. I'm not saying he's been like an all great. We have the big. I didn't even realize we had the big camera on me. What really frustrates me is that these dumb Mets fans think that in like 100 at bats, this kid's gonna be a superstar. Like, do you understand how baseball works, or how player development works? Not everyone's good right away. I really don't understand why people can't figure that out. In any sport, too. You could look at, I think the perfect example, Peyton Manning of any sport. Perfect example. Sucked his rookie year, got better. You know why? Because he learned how to play. These kids are not superstars as soon as they come out. Sometimes they take time to develop. You know, it's a word that people can't grasp in the English language. But you know what? Here, I'll help some folks out today. We'll go to the beautiful thing on the internet. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but it's called Webster's Dictionary. Okay, it's called Webster's Dictionary. So
what's up, Brian?
Pull up the word develop. Right. What does Webster say? It says, okay, well, this is kind of stupid definition, but the act, process, or result of developing.
You know, folks, development is not always linear.
No, it's not. But you know, if my own fan base wants to be stupid, I will allow them to be stupid, and I will take all the knowledge and brain power that I already possess and gain more every day. So thank you, God, for making me a smart individual as opposed to these morons living on USA.
I will also say that Andy Martino has tweeted, no trade for Justin Verlander is close. However, if Houston gets aggressive on it, it could be a fit.
Okay. Well, don't listen to Martino either. He doesn't know what he's doing.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Nope.
So, but anyway, got someone. Don't forget Daniel Jones. I turned on notifications to Heyman, Sherman, Rosenthal, and others for trades. Feinstein's also another exclusive camera spotlight. It's like the singer getting their solo verse. Yep. Sell the damn team. Brian, what is up?
I'd like to also mention one of our teammates for NYY News, Chris Stacy. He retweeted Chris McGonigal and he says, "You can't give someone credit. You cannot give someone credit for having the courage to expose his own stupidity. That's like someone driving drunk, stumbling when trying to walk in a straight line, and being deemed brave for not just fleeing the cops instead of facing the consequences."
You know what? That's I like that. I like that. That's a very thought out thought process, and I'll give Chris Stacy credit. Mets are trying to clean all the junk out. Yeah, I mean, I would think that John's in the same line of thinking as I am. But any more final thoughts on the baseball?
I think we should save all the baseball stuff for tomorrow.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because I know Brian's going to be here, and we got some other guys coming in.
Brian.
Before we get to training camp, today we're going to do a football Immaculate Grid. Just as a warm-up exercise, of course.
All right.
Now, of course, I didn't stick to my guns when I actually said, hey, we're not going to allow Luca to do an Immaculate Grid because he's sabotaging. But here we are. Here are the categories.
What?
Don't sabotage us again, or else I will literally kick you.
Yeah, he'll kick me off.
No, I think he meant physically.
That could be physically. Could be physically. 3 more days until the Jets game. Yes, and we will be calling it. So don't forget to join us 8 p.m. on Thursday. Someone said on Yankees Twitter, watching the Yankees is enjoyable as jamming. Oh, my God.
Ryan!
You know, yes, but actually no. Oh, Aaron Boone, guys. It's a broken record. We have to be better.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah. All right. So let's see what we got here.
Disgruntled says Ryan Fitzpatrick for Bills Titans. I think that's a good guess.
Yeah. That's a good job, Disgruntled. Very good. Ryan Fitztragic.
32%.
Okay.
Also could have been Bills Texans.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Because this dude played for about how many teams?
Yeah, it could have been 100.
Walking shit can.
So you can't really put Josh Johnson anywhere. Damn, this is I got this one. Bania Okoronkwo.
Jack says go Browns. Okay, Jack, I guess we'll be seeing you in the chat on Thursday.
Oh, that's right.
Chargers, Bills.
Did Drew Brees ever have a 3,000-yard passing season for the Chargers? What about Doug Flutie or Dan Fouts?
Brees?
I think Fouts definitely did.
I would say Brees did, I think.
Ooh, there's 2 good ones that Brian has given out. Tyrod Taylor, backup quarterback of the Giants, and CJ Spiller.
I go CJ Spiller. That's a little more rare.
And yeah, he got it wrong. Of course, when we rely on Brian, we're wrong.
You know what? Let's check if CJ Spiller actually played a game.
He just said, wait, Spiller is wrong. We already typed it in, Brian, and we lost a turn. Good job. Gerald Everett, LA teams. That's a good one. Do you think we should plug in Gerald Everett?
Yes.
Gerald Everett.
We could have also picked Disgruntled says Eric Weddle.
True. Yeah,
I think you put
Doug Flutie
for
3,000 yards Chargers.
Or Drew Brees.
Brian coming with the bullshit. It's already started. I say Doug Flutie. 2%.
I have a kicker because I was thinking of kickers. I actually did Randy Bullock play on the Bills?
No, I don't think so.
No.
See, what would have been good for Chargers and Texans? Now I just lost my train of thought.
Texans,
Nick
you can't
Novak.
do.
No, I know. I said if I could do it.
He did play on the Titans, and wait, no, he didn't. No, damn it, hold up. I'm annoyed at Brian right now because he ruined it. He did it on purpose. He sabotaged it on purpose.
Texans, Chargers, Cardinals. Chiefs.
How about 3,000 yards for Titans? You could do Steve McNair. You could do what's his name, Warren Moon.
Which one's more rare?
What about did Vince Young ever do it?
I'll take a look.
We're not, Brian. We are not going with another one from you. You are banned for tonight, buddy. You're banned.
Vince Young, no. No,
He
Vince
says
Young.
he swears it's true.
Banned.
Armin says Eric Moulds for Houston and Buffalo.
Okay. All right. So are we going with a Tennessee? Are we doing? Which one are we doing? Steve McNair.
Hold on, let me think of another.
What about? I got one for the Bills, Texans.
Warren Moon.
Yeah, we could do Warren Moon for. Yeah, we could for the.
I was going to ask if Zach
Mettenberger
ever did it.
Zach Mettenberger. Okay, so
Locker.
Zach Zach Mettenberger. No, not even fucking close. Let's do Warren Moon. 16%. Okay.
Bills, Texans, Mario Williams.
Oh, Mario Williams, yeah.
Williams.
That has got to be
25%. All right. And then 2 more guesses.
I'm still mad.
I know Armin said Davis Mills. You can think of Davis Mills, Deshaun Watson, Matt Schaub. I don't think David Carr hit over 3,000.
He might have.
Tom Savage.
He might have.
Tom Savage. Ugh. Brock.
No.
Are we going to add Brock Osweiler next?
Honestly, he might have hit that number.
I think whoever said David Carr is correct. I don't know why. I think he
has intuition.
3,531 yards. Yeah, in 2004.
David Carr's brother. The guy who won a Super Bowl with the Giants. All right. Rams, Titans, or Chargers, Bills?
We're not touching the Chargers, Bills one again.
Rams, Titans.
We're going to purposely leave that blank to know Brian is the reason why.
It's like a stain.
Exactly. It's permanent.
All right. Titans, Rams. Let's see, I think. Any like offensive line? Robert Woods.
Yeah.
I like to think of a backup though.
I was thinking of the offensive lineman Roger Saffold.
Okay, that's another one. Did Sam Shields play with both teams?
Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while. Kenny Britt, Brian says, but we're not going to go with his answer.
No, well, I mean, I think he's correct, but we're not going with his answer for that purpose. We're not
should we do Woods or Saffold?
I feel like Saffold's more rare.
All right, Roger Saffold. 222, 3% for Roger Saffold. I thought it'd be higher. You could have had it for Bills Titans too.
CJ Spiller.
So, just you know what, Brian? You need to go. You get yourself a CJ Spiller jersey. It won't hurt, especially after you have your Max jersey.
Ruined it, literally.
But otherwise,
grid.
Thank you to the chat for contributing again. Now, let's dive into some Brian. If he wants to say except for Brian, let's say except for Brian. But
listen, he's still on his Baker Mayfield agenda.
God knows that would be the worst thing to happen to this podcast is Brian being right about Baker Mayfield.
I hope he's not.
So I feel like this podcast is built on the foundation that Brian is. I'm not even going to go there. But anyway, with that being said, let's break into some training camp takeaways. If you guys want to go into the Jets first, then I'll finish off with the Giants.
Okay.
He's all in on Kyle Trask, always has been.
Okay.
Disgruntled, don't feed into Brian. Don't do that. It's going to come up in a second.
I'm just gonna look at I'm gonna get a Robbie Sabo tweet, see if I can find one real quick. John, what are your thoughts on training camp lately? Just an overall thing, and I know Joe Tippmann was recently mentioned, by Connor Hughes. He made a very drastic take, saying that he wouldn't start in 2023. Now, in my opinion, that's an overreaction. Do you think there's more time for him to start, or at least to prove the chance to start? Because right now, how it's being analyzed is Wes Schweitzer had a bad practice today because he
had like two bad snaps.
He had two snap balls over the head of Aaron Rodgers, which unfortunately
also the unofficial depth chart has come out.
Yeah, we'll take a look at that. But when I hear balls being snapped over the head of quarterbacks and Jets, does the name Spencer Long come to you, John?
Ew. I remember watching games with him at center.
Oh my God,
he was awful.
But
I'm not even just fan. I remember that.
Yeah, of course. But going with that, do you think obviously first team is Connor McGovern? They actually list Joe Tippmann as the second string center, but Wes Schweitzer has gotten more first team reps. Tippmann's basically with the third team. Like, how do you feel about this overall? And do you find it worrying? Do you find it not? Second, obviously, Joe Timmons with the third team. Do you see this as motivation for him? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, it is a little pause to cause. Not going to throw in the panic button yet. We haven't seen this kid play yet. We haven't even seen him play a preseason game. It's just training camp. The one thing I'll say with Tippmann, the research I've been doing on all the Jets players during training camp, Tippmann's had not had a good camp as well. He's had some trouble with snap balls, as well as Schweitzer. So it's not just him. It is Tippmann as well. And you're hoping that at least he could compete for the starting job.
Right, of course.
It more and more sounds like Connor McGovern is going to be the starting center again for the Jets.
Right.
Which, again, I'm not I think he's an average center.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all agree on that. I don't think he's particularly bad, but I don't think he's particularly excellent at one thing. So I'm not going to overreact yet because we haven't even seen any preseason games.
Of course. Yeah. It's tough with McGovern because I think he's a very much a middle of the road center. Mm-hmm. But I want to say you know what you're getting from him day in and day out, but sometimes you're not. Sometimes I don't think he has that edge in him as a center, or is obviously it's hard to ask somebody to be like a Nick Mangold or anything like that because the Jets obviously have had a good history with centers. But to me, just doesn't have that edge on the offensive line. But I think Aaron Rodgers, I guess, you just, as we talked about last week, Aaron Rodgers is going to make the offensive line better just with his presence alone, mm-hmm. his ability to detect things on the his protections, to be able to call out what he sees on the defense, all of that. So I think he's going to make just the offensive line better in general. But I'd give Tippmann more time.
I was going to say, offering a Jets point.
Okay, go ahead.
And I did call last week that Connor McGovern would probably be the starter, so I'm going to take my flowers there. And also, we got some questions in the chat, but I'll get to that in just a second. In terms of this whole center thing, obviously you guys invested a second-round pick in Joe Tippmann. Mm-hmm. I would, as I said, McGovern seems like an understanding type of option at center. Now, obviously, if I was me, I would go ahead, put Vera Tucker at left tackle, and then put whoever slot in at right guard, maybe like Tippmann or McGovern or however. It's just McGovern's been a starter for so many years. but Schweitzer's been a backup.
Right.
So I just don't really. Maybe he is having a better camp, but it seems like they're very leveled. So it looks like if it was realistic here, I feel like the battle should be to get on the starting offensive line. It should be between Tittman and Schweitzer. In my opinion, like, because the way you guys have described it to me, both of them have had not very good camps, whether it's snapping the ball or just handling pressure.
Schweitzer's been better, but this is like one of his bad days.
So,
yeah, he had
I mean, as I said, like Schweitzer's been a career backup, and you invested a second-round pick in Tittman. Though you have to be respectful of the fact that Aaron Rodgers probably wants a veteran center, and you're going to get that, McGovern. I just feel like throwing out Billy Turner at left tackle is not necessarily a good idea.
I was actually about to get to that, but so with the depth chart being released, Mekhi Becton still practicing with the second team. Billy Turner starting at left tackle. Itchton is the first left tackle. Obviously, Dwayne Brown. We don't know the timeline, which I would like to know soon because he is coming back, obviously, off of injury, but I would much prefer Dwayne Brown to Billy Turner. Turner's had a bad camp. He's been dusted. He's been tossed and turned by Jets edge rushers. Go ahead.
I'm going to make a very bold prediction. This is not anti-Jets, but I'm looking at the depth chart right now. I have a feeling that the New York Jets are going to be looking at the waiver wire massively for O-line upgrades. This kind of reminds me, and I'm looking at the depth chart, as I said, like trying to look back to 2021 Giants, because they did the same shit too, where they didn't necessarily have respectable, like Schweitzer's a backup, yes.
Yeah.
But like some of these other names are like third, fourth string guys that like, if Mekhi Becton is the starting left tackle, he's out for a game, or Vera Tucker's out for a game at guard, you wouldn't necessarily be 100% okay with putting this guy in, just saying he's going to do a solid job. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call that out.
They have good depth, but like they have good depth pieces. That's why they're called depth pieces, not much starters. That's why, we need a timeline on when Brown's coming back sooner or later. So left tackle, Billy Turner, left guard, Tomlinson, center McGovern, right guard, Vera Tucker, right tackle, Max Mitchell, who's obviously making an impression. See, the thing is, like, I think Matt O'Leary brought this up, and it was a good point by him. Max Mitchell was not supposed to start last year. He was supposed to be, developmental, but injuries got in the way. Obviously, Dwayne Brown was hurt for the first couple of weeks. Mekhi Becton obviously hurt. But, there's obviously an opportunity for Tittman to start. Obviously, it's a long shot as of right now, but there's so many days to come. But I am a little concerned with left tackle Billy Turner being etched in as the starting left tackle, because obviously I just mentioned he's been tossed and turned. Hopefully Mekhi Becton, continues to have good practices. Robert Saleh said he's had 2 in a row thus far. So let's keep that progress going. Any final thoughts, John, on the offensive line?
I think the tackle spot is honestly our weakest link on this whole team right now, because, I mean, Becton is just a mess out there, man. Whether it's he can't stay healthy, whether it's his play in training camp right now, it's like, dude, like, I don't even know if it's worth it for him to make the team at this point. Like, that's how strongly I'm starting to turn on him. I understand he was a first-round pick, but, like, he hasn't played in 2 seasons. He's not had another good camp. Like, I would be Alex mentions the waiver wire market. I'm almost thinking trade market. I don't know who it would be for, but if you're Joe Douglas, you have to consider it.
Yeah.
You have to. I mean, it's a revolving door right now, and it's not good.
I've seen time on the timeline. I'll get to that in a sec. But Disgruntled says Becton getting eased back in is definitely the best approach. They rushed him last year, and it didn't work. Let him maul the second unit while he gets rid of them back. Robert Saleh did mention he's going to be on a pitch count this Thursday for the Hall of Fame game, which is going to be very interesting. It makes sense, though, but we hope to see like the linear progression of Mekhi Becton, hopefully trying to get back. But the main contingency is obviously, he has had a pitch count and all that. He struggled with the speed rushers on our team. He struggled with Carl Lawson. He struggled with Will McDonald. Guys are just getting past him. So, again, you hope the progression is linear. Obviously, you got to take it one step at a time with him. Disgruntled also says Chad Pennington currently has a stronger throwing arm and better deep ball than Jimmy. Yeah, Billy Turnstile is good for depth.
I couldn't myself with that name last week.
Yeah, I've seen 3 options on Twitter, as people have mentioned. Call Green Bay and trade for David Bakhtiari as one. Number 2, go out and sign Taylor Lewan.
No.
Yeah, he's up there in age. I understand the hesitancy. I don't remember what the third option was. I think it was
Trade
also
for Tyree Phillips.
no. You're real funny asking for that. But
Well, I mean, he's a solid depth tackle and guard. So
we need somebody who could start. Like, obviously not to be penciled in day one, but just in case. I'm just trying to think of. Let me see. I'll pull it up. I'll pull up the tweet.
while
with
you
David
pull that up, I do
Bakhtiari.
want to get to 2 more comments.
Mhm.
I'm going to go to Brian's first, then I'll go to Sean Paz's. I honestly believe Trask is the answer. Baker's having a rough time with turnovers and batted passes in camp. Trask has upped his velocity and more accurate in the red zone. Lewan is worth a tryout, at least for this season. There is not much on the free agent tackle market right now. And then Shapaz says, this is one that probably John could answer while Luke is looking up the tackle market. How do you like Aaron Rodgers standing up for his team? In response to the Sean Payton comments.
I like it a lot just because, it shows that I feel like he's got this terrible narrative about him.
Mhm.
And I really blame the mainstream media for this and the ESPN's cough of the world. But I feel like they put this like selfish image of reputation on Rodgers that have made him seem like a villain. But he's done everything right since he's got here. Like he literally took a huge pay cut so they could try and get other players, right? And
Right.
restructure his whole contract. He sticks up for his offensive coordinator, who I'll admit I was not the biggest fan of, but at least at least he puts his face out. He's not afraid to talk to the media. Like everyone would think that he was getting eaten alive,
Right.
but he's done everything I've asked for so far. I mean, I know he hasn't played a game, and we're only going to care about winning as Alex comes back
Idiot
from crapping
computer.
out.
Yeah.
He
But
magically disappeared.
Magically disappeared for 2 seconds. But go on, John.
Narnia, yeah. No, like I love it, man. I what can I say?
I just feel like in that case, like I get it. Sean Payton is a respected Super Bowl coach, this, that, and the other thing, and he will probably have like more winning say and more bragging rights over Saleh and his coaching staff. Like, but I don't get his point about why he was complaining about Hackett bringing in the first.
Tyson, our good buddy Tyson from Let's Talk Jets, said it perfectly. He's using a built-in excuse. If the Broncos don't progress, first of all, well, obviously the built-in excuse, as I just mentioned, if the Broncos don't progress, he's going to use that as a built-in excuse, saying, you know what, we were just coming off a bad season.
It's just
with
like Russell Wilson had one. Whether you want to argue this, that, and the third, Russell Wilson probably had some bad coordinators in Seattle, but he had like statistically one of his worst seasons last year, as we could all argue. And I don't know. I just feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like Russell Wilson maybe didn't take as much accountability for that.
No.
And I feel like people overrate how like caring about other people in terms of like teammates he is, because he left Seattle and they actually got better, and then Denver got worse. I'm not saying he's like washed, but I'm just saying it's a good point. You're not going to sit there and acknowledge, hey, listen, my quarterback sucked last season. No, but I'm just saying it's kind of silly to be bringing up the built-in excuses. Sean might be already writing off this incoming season as damage control ahead of the upcoming debacle. I mean, they're 2 wide receivers. They released one. One other's going to the IR. So I guess, yeah, you could probably already see the excuses coming in.
I just don't understand why you got to talk before, like, 2 months before a matchup. Because the Jets are facing the Broncos in week 5.
Mhm.
There's no reason you got to bring them up.
And we beat. I know it's a new coach, but we did beat the Broncos last year.
I know we did.
So, I don't know what's the worth to talk about.
But obviously, to go back to whoever's who mentioned it, I think it was Chomp. Is I like that about Aaron Rodgers. Sticking up for his coach, and it's not like he name called Sean Payton, but He said he was out of line. And then I think Peyton was asked about it today. First of all, I find two things. I find one thing funny. I find the thing funny as in Peter Schrager, Albert Breer, and all these Denver morons defending Sean Payton after what he said. Just trying to create some sort of spin cycle, which was ridiculous. But regardless, Rodgers didn't name call him. He said, he did what he did was out of line. And then today, Sean Payton was asked about it, and he said, we're past that now. Although he did apologize the other day. He's like, we're past that. The Jets might just put him on the bulletin board. Just like they might have his face on the bulletin board. But listen, this team has swagger. They're behind their quarterback. They're behind their coaches. Good for them. Good for them. And I looked at the tackle market, by the way. Eric Fisher's one. Last played, I think, in Miami, actually. Joe Haig, he's a solid depth piece. Juwan James, he's more of a right tackle. Jason Peters.
James is always hurt.
41 years old, Jason Peters. Dakota Dozier, Marcus Cannon, Ty Nsekhe, Mike Remmers, who obviously we just released. I got to see what Marcus Cannon did. I'd be curious to look at him.
Probably the best option out of those.
I believe it was most recently a Texan.
He played 5 games last year. I don't know if that was due to injury or whatever. 4 games the season prior. But I'd consider looking at him. Probably, as John said, the best option. But best depth option who maybe could start would probably be Joe Haig. Let's see. Cannon was placed on IR last season. But I'd definitely look into him.
Maybe you would probably look into Dalton Reisner at some point. I'm pretty sure he could play tackle too.
He can play tackle and inside. That's a good thing.
Yep.
So I definitely take an eye on that. Aaron has always been a great player and teammate. Just the Packers never went all in, so he didn't either. Meanwhile, the Jets have shown they're willing to make moves to win. Yeah, definitely. You know what I found interesting, John? He talked about with Peter King, how he made the salary cut and whatnot. He took the pay cut. He mentioned the trade deadline as a potential option to get more pieces. Does David Bakhtiari and Davante Adams come to mind?
No, they're the first people that do. And anyone that's played on the Packers, that's available, you best believe they're going to have interest and want to come to the Jets with Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely. I do agree there. Another headline that's been recent in camp, obviously offensive side of the ball, is some Jet fans are starting to get frustrated with Allen Lazard. He's made some circus catches in camp. He's obviously a very good run blocker, but he does tend to drop the easy passes. And we don't try to overrate him at all, but doesn't that remind us of Corey Davis?
I don't want to make that comparison.
To be fair to Mr. Lazard, I mean, you did hear about that Jamar Chase stuff, like when he was a rookie, but also, yeah, I mean, you shouldn't be dropping as many passes. Apparently, if it's bad,
they're the easy drops. That's what they've been saying.
Right. But
Disgruntled says, do the Jets really need more wide receivers? I mean, I would love Devontae as a second option next to Garrett. That would be easily one of the best wide receiver duos in the league. But just some other stuff. I don't think there's much going with the offense other than that. Obviously, Zach Wilson's doing his thing in practice. But we've yet to see that on Thursday. He is playing in the game, by the way, so John will go see his favorite quarterback.
You know what, Luca? For that statement and insult of John, you need to wear your Zach Wilson shirt.
No.
Yes.
No,
yes.
I am not wearing my Zach Wilson shirt.
In the chat, if you guys believe that Luca should wear his Zach Wilson shirt on Thursday, put it in the chat. Say yes.
But John, any final thoughts on the offense? Anything else you want to cover?
Talked about the offensive line. Another thing, backup quarterbacks have been, I think, pretty bad. No depth behind Aaron Rodgers with Zach Wilson or Tim Boyle. Just keeping it out there. God forbid, knock on wood. I hope Rodgers doesn't get hurt. But Wilson had an awful day, I know, Sunday, and Boyle has just kind of stunk. And also the running back room, it's very interesting with Dalvin Cook. Him and Breece Hall comes back. You got to think one of those guys is probably out the door.
I'd say Michael Carter, in my opinion.
I think he's the odd man out because Zonovan Knight's been having a really good camp. And he impressed me last year a lot when Breece Hall went down. So I think Carter's been a little disgruntled ever since that James Robinson move.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not looking a bright future for him
Yeah.
at the current moment.
So obviously Cook had his meeting. Do you think obviously Cook had his meeting with the Jets? He was lauded at training camp. Is there any bone in your body that I know I'm not trying to be negative, but is there any bone in your body that thinks he might be playing us? Or at least trying
I don't
to
want to
play us
say
for
that.
leverage?
I do think there's mutual interest. I don't know if we're going to get him. I could see us getting him,
Right.
and I'd be okay with it. But again, I feel like the main back on this team should be Breece Hall
Of course.
when he comes back. I don't want to have that debate. Like, Breece Hall should get the bulk of the carries for this team.
Oh, I agree.
When he's 100% healthy. I mean, last year he was incredible before he got hurt, obviously. And you could have argued he might have won Offensive Rookie of the Year instead of Garrett Wilson.
And he covered up all of Zach's weaknesses.
He did.
Until they started stuffing the box.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like the season went down after that. But the one thing that it's been brought up in circles, obviously with the Jets, is obviously we talk about Breece Hall. The thing with Dalvin Cook is he lacks as a pass protector, as a blitz picker upper. So that's obviously concerning with some Jet fans. Some Jet fans think that Bam Knight's actually better than Cook, which I disagree with, because obviously you're comparing sample sizes. You're comparing a Pro Bowl running back to a undrafted running back. Listen, what Bam Knight's been doing in camp is impressive, but it's been 6 games. He still needs to prove it. I'm not saying he can't be, that running back 3 or 2, but you want the proven option in Dalvin Cook. I think I've been more on board with signing Dalvin Cook as of late. But is it the end all be all if they don't sign him? No, because Leonard Fournette is still out there, and I think Fournette's a better pass protector.
Now, I mean, I wouldn't.
And I think I'm sorry, you're up, Alex. I also think Fournette would be more accepting of a running back 2 role next to Breece Hall.
I could say. I mean, yeah, I was about to say like Fournette is less explosive at this part of his career, but I mean, then again, too, if you're looking for a running back, if you're looking for a solid running back, he's that type of guy. But you also have to keep track of like how many running backs you actually keeping. You guys drafted. I don't know. As I said, you guys can fill me in or whatever. Abanaconda, don't know what he's doing. You have Travis Dye, the running back from USC, and Demaria Crockett. Like, what's going on over there? Also, you guys have a fullback too.
Abanaconda has had a decent camp, I'd say. I don't want to say it's been off the charts, but it's not horrible. I know he's getting reps with the I think it's I believe he's gotten 13 reps if I'm not mistaken, but or second team. I gotta look that up actually. But again, I don't see him as the main guy. Now he could play in the offense, but if you're looking at a Jets room, let's say they do sign Dalvin Cook, that running back room is probably going to be Cook, Hall, and this isn't the order: Cook, Hall, Abanaconda, and Bam Knight as your 4 guys. If they want to carry 4 running backs, because they also want to carry a fullback.
Right, obviously Nick Bawden. I know Jeremy Ruckert's also, talking about fullbacks. I know Ruckert was kind of a fullback last year in the 4 offense, but he's more of a receiving tight end. It seems his blocking is better. But again, I wouldn't be totally upset if the Jets didn't sign Cook. Obviously, I think it's all comes down to money, and also comes down to whether Cook wants to play for his hometown team, which I think is Miami. And also guaranteed money, I think, is the big question mark surrounding it. So getting to the defensive side of the ball, there's not much to talk about really with the defensive line because they're just wrecking the offensive line. It's been more of a domination. Obviously, you've seen Carl Lawson, Al Woods, Quinn Williams, Jermaine Johnson having really good camps. Will McDonald as well, JFM. Going to the linebackers, recently a former Jet has recently signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers, that being Quan Alexander. John, how do you feel about the linebacker room this far?
I still think it's very thin on the depth side of it. And I don't know if they necessarily improved. You're hoping Jamin Sherwood really takes that step because he was a good tackler when he played. And that does a very good job in terms of helping the missed tackles, whether it's from guys from the linebackers or the safeties like the Whiteheads of the world. I know we had LaMarcus Joyner who took terrible angles last year, but thank God he's off the team. And that's what you need from that group. You need them to be able to be short tacklers and be able to especially stuff the run, because they're not coverage linebackers. We know they aren't, Luca. We know that that's not what this team is strength wise. And what I've been saying since last year, biggest problem with that defense was inability to cover running backs and tight ends, especially with the linebackers and safety group. So if they can just clean up that tackling and hopefully the safeties do a better job in coverage, then maybe it is a win. Maybe you go out and find someone on the waiver wire as another option on probably your biggest need of area on defense, I'd say. So,
yeah, definitely. I agree with you there. I could also see the Jets roll. Obviously, the 3 linebackers. I could also see the Jets rolling with some 4-2-5 sets where they have 2 linebackers and then they have the 5 defensive backs.
Makes sense.
Obviously, your 3 corners, your 2 safeties. I could also see, instances where, the Jets have a safety playing in the box is that linebacker, that hybrid. Obviously, Keanu Neal was that for the Dallas Cowboys and I think the Falcons towards the end of his Falcons career. But Jordan Whitehead, I do see as like being that hybrid kind of, and then they'll have the Amos and Tony Adams play in the back. But I think the thing with Sherwood is he's actually a little more rangy and he has that somewhat ability to be more athletic. And I think he's more of a fundamental tackler. And hopefully that gives hope to us that he can cover linebackers a little bit better than Quincy Williams and CJ Mosley. Because Quincy Williams, we all know, or at least most of us know, is inconsistent. Meanwhile, CJ Mosley, what you're going to get out of him. Sometimes he'll be good in coverage, but he's more of that tackling, fundamental, hard-hitting linebacker. So I'm just going to look at the go ahead.
I think with Quincy and CJ, they're both kind of very similar. I think CJ is a much smarter player, but I think they're very similar in their play style.
Yeah, I just don't see the athleticism with Quincy Williams. Some linebackers that are on the market right now, Miles Jack, Zach Cunningham. Van Noy, I think, was recently signed. Jayon Brown's available, who is more of I think Brown's a better pass covering, better for pass reps when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets picked up another linebacker, but they're really high on this kid Sherwood. I don't know what Zaire Barnes has done this camp, but you also have.
I don't think he's that ready or to make a major impact, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's fair. It's a fair assessment. You also got Chaz Surratt, Hamza Nasruddin, obviously picked in 2021. But that's the state of the linebacker. But somebody who's been ascending is our guy, Tony Adams, the safety, who also had another interception today. So it seems he is the front runner for the other safety position, opposite Jordan Whitehead. John, your thoughts?
Well, again, like I've been saying, as long as he can play an adequate safety position, we needed a coverage safety. Obviously, to Chuck Clark, he unfortunately lost or is done for the year with the freak injury that happened to him. I don't want to say freak injury, but the injury that happened to him. And it's going to be very interesting because you look at the division that we're in, there's a lot of good receivers in this division, whether it's the Stephon Diggs, the Gabe Davis, the Tyreek Hills and Jalen Waddles, and guys that can really, burn and go over the top. Can Tony Adams be adequate enough to give safety help to either some of these corners or to go, stop the deep route and stop the deep ball from being protected other than our cornerbacks, our fine cornerbacks, I should add. But it almost is like, again, it's like, I feel it's funny. I feel more confident in Adams at the safety spot than I do with Sherwood at the linebacker spot, because they're both like it's going to be experiments. But I just have a gut feeling of more like, Adams has done a lot more at camp than Sherwood has. So I could see that move paying off more as opposed to going thin at linebacker.
Right. So I want to pull up real quick. This is Tony Adams intercepting Aaron Rodgers. It's the second time he's done it this camp.
Remember, Aaron Rodgers is not a guy who gets picked off a lot.
Good hands from Adams. But again, as I brought up in last week's show, I was watching some Joe Blewett stuff, and it seems Adams is rangy. He's a very smart player. Could fix his tackling technique, but I think obviously starters are not most starters are probably not going to play Thursday night, or if any. But I think Tony Adams ought to play just to give him the reps, in my opinion, John.
You can give him some reps. Yeah, you don't have to play him a whole lot. Maybe like the first series, you could play him 1 or 2 series. Nothing crazy.
Just to get to some comments, Dalvin Cook has been dealing with the domestic violence dispute. He doesn't have the leverage to play teams off each other for money. I think Dalvin wants to either play for his brother in Buffalo or the Jets. Also the Dolphins, because obviously he's a hometown kid from there. But John, any final thoughts on Jets camp? And what do you know? I'll say this: what are you looking forward to seeing on Thursday? What do you want to see on Thursday?
Well, there's one more standout that I did want to talk about, who I think is going to who has been really lighting it up, in my opinion. That's Jermaine Johnson, the first round pick from last year. He has been an actual monster out there. I mean, every day he just wins his battle. And I know the tackle spot has been really weak, but he has been. Everyone's saying that, on this team, they really believe he's going to break out this year. It's funny because you don't think of him as a speed rusher, but he does have the ability to get by you really quickly. But he's big too. He's not a small. He's massive out there. So it's going to be really interesting to see. And in terms of Thursday, I want to I'm not going to say I'm looking for anyone specific, but I'm going to be taking notes and all right, who pops out to me of making good plays with these, because it's a lot of our backups that are going to play, a lot of guys either fighting for spots. So I want to see in this first preseason game, and obviously we'll have the call on it. We'll be seeing who can do what, who's positively impacting the team, who can make a play that you don't even expect. So that's going to be looking out for in this Hall of Fame game, and also to root for Darrelle Revis.
Yes, definitely, and Joe Klecko. Defensively, obviously, they have a lot of young edge rushers: Bryce Huff, Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald. I like to see them get some playing time. Safety, I talked about Tony Adams. Linebackers, backup quarterback. I'll get to that in a sec. But linebackers, obviously, not Tony Adams. Jamie and Sherwood. We just talked about him. Zaire Barnes. I like to see what the linebackers do. Obviously, the Browns are probably not playing the starters, and they shouldn't. But I like to see what the linebackers do. I want to see, who's really standing out, because I know Quincy Williams is probably not going to play C.J. Mosley neither, probably in my opinion. But Sherwood, Nasruddin, Chaz Surratt, and Zaire Barnes, those are the guys I'm looking at. Offensive line, obviously Mekhi Becton's going to play. I'd like to see a step in the right direction. Backup quarterback, we'll see what we get from Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle. That ought to be interesting, because I think that's going to drive the game. In my opinion, offensively, obviously we're more a pass-first offense now with Hackett, but we do have some running backs. Abinaconda, I'm curious to see how he plays. I know he's not been great in camp. Zonovan Knight, obviously having a great camp as well. Michael Carter, I doubt he plays, but there's probably an outside chance he does.
Maybe he does. Maybe.
Yeah. Also, wide receivers, I like to see Jason Brownlee.
Oh, yes.
An undrafted free agent.
He's had a phenomenal camp. I think he might have an outside shot to be the sixth receiver.
Yep, from Southern Mississippi. Undrafted free agent. I think obviously this year, undrafted free agent. But he's doing really good.
Especially against the ones.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
Even Rodgers was throwing it to him. He was beating guys off the sideline. I'm really interested to see how he plays in the preseason game, but he's another one to stick out for. Jeremy Ruckert and Zach Kuntz, I would like to see what they do. But I think my main areas, I shouldn't say of concern or to watch, or I could say to watch, are the linebackers and the offensive line and quarterbacks. Alex?
I guess we'll take it into Giants camp for a little bit. I've been at Giants camp for a few practices, so I might as well to get my takeaways in. And if anyone wants to ask any questions about Giants camp, because I know I'm the only Giants guy on the panel, but with that being said, Darren Waller is He's been an absolute beast in camp. He's been absolutely uncoverable, and it's so interesting to see. And it just feels like the Giants, almost said the Yankees. I really should not have put that in the air. It seems like the Giants have had their best weapon. At least Joe Shane made a great trade for him this offseason. Now, obviously, we'll see what happens when he actually gets on a football field in an actual game, how much he can stay healthy. But they took him out today to try to force Daniel Jones to throw to other guys. Now, he threw to Paris Campbell. He's been throwing more to Jalen Hyatt, which we'll get into. But with that being said, Waller seems to be the best player that a quarterback, the New York Giants quarterback, has thrown to since Odell Beckham Jr. And I'm not really making an exaggeration. That's just how true it is. Because we all know, even if you're not a Giants fan, you're a football fan, Darren Waller is a top tight end in this league when he's healthy. So he's been an absolute beast in camp. They took him out today. They just gave him some rest. The slot has gotten a lot of attention. Paris Campbell, he's probably the second best guy, if you're talking about camp so far, who they signed from the Colts this offseason. He's competing in there with a lot of different other slot receivers, which we'll talk about. I think one of the more underrated parts is that Daniel Jones is probably having the best camp of his career. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that's going to translate to the regular season because we've been wrong on so many other things beforehand, but not many interceptions, if at all. I think one so far, and that was Xavier McKinney last Thursday when I was there. But he's been zipping, and again, he threw
that interception to Pinnock, did he not?
Yes. Okay, you are right on that one. He did throw this interception to Jason Pinnock. Lawrence Cager, the former Jet, is making a case for the tight end 3 position. He didn't really do well today, but he's been getting a lot of catches, a lot of different circus catches, contested catches. He's shown out more than Tommy Sweeney. He's shown out more than Chris Myrick and Ryan Jones. So I think he's going to get that tight end 3 spot, and I think especially because the New York Giants are going to look for a pass catcher rather than a blocker.
I think he's good for mismatches. If you throw him in, obviously, I don't know if you could really run like a 2 tight end set. You have Bellinger and
the problem is, I mean, I get your insight. It's good. I don't think he's not a blocker, obviously.
No. I'm saying you could split him out wide, and the height's obviously a mismatch. How tall is Cager?
If you don't mind looking that up for me. Now, Bill, I'm going to do you a favor. If you will give me 1 second. You probably saw it on Twitter, but I did record
6'5".
that live. Yeah, Cager's a pretty tall cat. Cager's a pretty good tall cat. I said mute that tab, but apparently Google did not listen to me. But he's a pretty tall cat, and I think he's set to win tight end 3. In comparison to what's going on with the Jets right now at center, it looks like John Michael Schmitz needs to build a little bit of strength when he's going against Dexter Lawrence. Right now today, it was Ben Bredesen at right guard, Josh Azudu at left guard, and JMS at center for the last couple of reps. So they actually got Glowinski out of there. But right now, it looks there's no rush to really put him in at center. I know a lot of people are saying, no, don't overlook it. I think JMS is going to be the starter, but I think they're not in a rush to put him there. So, we'll see. He's had a couple of good reps here and there. I think the pass rush is starting to get there. There's so many times last season where this pass rush was just not healthy. Leonard Williams was out. Kayvon
Aziz
was out for a bunch of games. They're starting to get in the backfield, and you'll see it once I play the rep. Actually, we could just probably get to it right now. Here's the Jason Pinnock pick, ladies and gentlemen, Jesus Christ. If you haven't already seen it.
Zach D-Law.
That's a really good catch.
Nice catch.
Yeah, just to slowly get into the defense a little bit, not too many takeaways, but Jason Pinnock has been getting the main reps at second safety. So, again, they're not in a rush to throw Dane Belton in there. And they probably wanted to throw Pinnock in there just to see, okay, listen, one day we'll do Belton, one day we'll do Pinnock. But I think Pinnock is slowly making a case for that second safety role, at least to get more time in that role than Dane Belton. But we'll see. They did invest a 4th-round pick last year in Dane Belton. Cordell Flott seems to be winning the slot battle, which is a good thing. Against Darnay Holmes. Darnay Holmes yesterday allowed 3 touchdowns in one-on-ones. 1 against Cole Beasley, 2 against Paris Campbell. He hasn't looked great. So obviously, I predicted him to make the roster in a roster bubble video, but a lot of Giant fans have been pretty much tired of him. He can't really play man coverage. He can play more of like zone. So he could be a fit for like the Jets, for example. I'm just throwing a zone team out there. But Cordell Flott has been winning the slot battle by a lot. To the point of you got to see Bobby McCain, former Dolphin, former Commander, actually take some slot reps with the second team, pushing Darnay to the third team, which tells you they're kind of weaning or really waning their support for Darnay Holmes. So there's that. Micah McFadden and Darian Beavers rotating in at linebacker 2. So it's going to be up to, I think Beavers is going to be the starter out of the gate. Some other takeaways as well. Trey Hawkins today got some reps with the first team. He was late round.
He looks good in camp. I've been seeing a lot of praise from him, from Giant fans.
Yeah, no, I mean, one-on-ones, he's held his own. He had an interception a few days ago versus Bryce Ford Wheaton. He's really, like, today he struggled noticeably because he was with the first team and they gave Adoree off, so you're going to struggle. Gave up a touchdown to Paris Campbell, but I mean, he's slowly starting to come on. I'm not going to get too hyped about it because, hey, listen, he is facing the Giants' second and third team. But, I mean, listen, if he can make it over some of these other guys fighting for other positions, it's fine. It's definitely good for value in the later rounds, especially a small school kid. We watched the film on him after he was drafted, very physical. So I'm really excited to see what he
How has
do.
Deontay looked?
Deontay, and I was actually just about to get to him, he hasn't looked good. They actually put him against Waller a few times, which he's going to get destroyed either way. Slayton has had a couple of hauls on him. Same thing can be said for Isaiah Hodgins, but he's gotten better over the last few days. You were saying?
Is there anything like specific like that people are noticing? What's should I say? What's troubling him? Is it like
his release? Like he's struggling against release. And listen, I mean, obviously they faltered between zone and man at Maryland. I don't think it's a concern. I think, and you know what I like what Brian Dable said, because a lot of coaches wouldn't have the balls to come in. He basically said in a press conference that it's supposed to be challenging. It's not supposed to be, it's going to be a cupcake factory. Like, he didn't say that, but I'm paraphrasing. He said it's meant for them to struggle. And Deonte Banks, he had a nice play, a nice pass breakup today. I think he had a nice pass breakup yesterday. He was like really good, I think, in coverage downfield on a specific play. But I'm going to go to the other rookie before we, do anything else. And I also got some questions, comments in the chat and whatnot. Is Jalen Hyatt has started to come on the last few days. And I don't know if anyone saw, you see that zip throw from Daniel Jones, that tight window throw. I'm going to take a look. Let's see if I pull it up.
Okay.
But
I think I saw it. Didn't he also beat someone down the sideline? There's like two sideline plays I'm thinking of.
Yes. So he caught a touchdown against Tyrod today. He caught a touchdown against Tyrod yesterday. So also this does showcase whether you like it or not. First of all, the offense is having a much better camp than they did last year. Last year they sucked. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, they're going deep more, which is a good thing because you have deep threats in Hodgins. You have a deep threat in Slayton. You have a deep threat in Jalen Hyatt. But
would you consider Campbell a deep threat?
He could be, but he's more of like, again, he's a slot receiver. There's all these different things. I'm going to try to get this Jalen Hyatt catch. Also tomorrow, I'm going to try to get in line for this. Tomorrow at training camp, you were saying, John?
I was gonna ask a question, or like a two-parter, I'd say.
Okay.
Someone, because I know you've been to 3 camps now.
I've been to 3 practices.
3. So whether it's that and also all the tweets, Give me a player from both that's either really surprised you in a good way and surprised you in a bad way.
I'm gonna save that for the end because I'm almost finished.
Okay.
I also got the Jalen Hyatt awesome catch. It was like a really tight window throw. Yeah. But yeah, it just shows the offense is going more vertical this year, and I'm really excited for it. Let's present the clip.
And just a quick comment here from Chomps saying your roster bubble series is legit. Yeah, guys, if you haven't checked those videos out, make sure to do it because he's literally putting one out every.
Yeah, I'm gonna record one after the show because I do it like every day. So, Jompez, I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone who watches it. And there's, a lot of people. I explained this to John. It may not get a lot of views right now, but like once players start getting cut and they start signing with other teams, those other teams' fan bases are, and this is like proven. This is not bullshit conspiracy. Those fans of those teams literally go on YouTube, look up those players. My videos come up, and that's where they sprout in views. Like, for instance, David Moa. He was a former defensive tackle for the Giants. Got cut last year. I did a roster bubble video on him. As soon as he signed with the Chargers, video sprouts up. So, but again, I appreciate it. I also want to get to Bill's comment. First few days of camp was a story. You can't defend Waller, and Pinnock just said, hold my beer. Yeah, another fan base see highlights. That's absolutely correct. If Holmes gets cut, it saves like $3 million, so that could be a part of it. Yes, and I think he could also get traded because corner depth around the league is not necessarily the greatest. Like, I don't know what other teams run zone defenses, but I know, let's just say if the Jets were short on corners, which they're not. I mean, he plays zone defense. He's not going to be asked a lot in the running game. You could trade him for a 6th-round pick easy. But this is what Jalen Hyatt decided to do today. Site, all right, it's on the screen. It is. Here we go.
Just look, a little toe tapper.
Now in coverage is Xavier McKinney.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good coverage too. He just nice
fit
grab.
It right in there. Just fit it right in there. Thank you, Bill. Much appreciated. To answer John's question. One player that from one side I'm surprised in. It's a shame the running back position is in a high tier position now. Yeah, I still think they're a big part of the game, but I think it's just the NFL with rushing quarterbacks now.
Also shelf life,
contracts, the ability to draft a 7th round running back and turn him into a stud. I think all of those are just like collapsing, and I don't think it's going to get any better. Because, I'm pretty sure Josh Jacobs still hasn't reported to camp. So there's a lot of different things. And the fact that Dalvin's still a free agent and so is Zeke.
Yep.
Offense and defense. All right. Offense and defense. Trying to think here. Jason Pinnock is my defensive surprise in a good way. I didn't think he'd be this good. Offensively, I'm gonna put in 2 answers here. I'm gonna go 3 answers. How about that? Daniel Jones. Obviously the contract extension, the storylines that the media is really trying to put out about, it's Saquon Barkley versus Daniel Jones when it's not even close to that. And again, as I said, it's probably not going to translate to the regular season. It may or may not. I don't know. We could all be wrong. But he's looked like really solid in camp. I think this is his best camp that I've seen in person. I watched 2019. I watched, one camp. And then we weren't allowed to do 2021 camp because Joe Judge decided to not let us in the building. Completely stupid. He was probably beating the shit out of the players. That's why.
I remember that too.
Utter stupidity. Yeah, so I'm going to go Daniel Jones, Paris Campbell, and I will also say I'm going to go Colin Johnson. He's a guy who tore his Achilles last year, was really good in camp, got a lot of attention, and he's getting the same amount of attention now. So I'll go Colin Johnson again. Luca, what's this thing you got in the background?
Just watch Darren Waller here.
Oh, I think I know what this is.
Oh, my God.
Let's watch that again.
Look at the pad
slowly. He's slowly turning into one of my favorites.
Yeah,
slowly turning into one of my favorites.
I mean, I know, I've made this point that the Giants don't have a legitimate wide receiver threat, but he's a legit tight end threat when healthy.
Yeah. And you know what? The thing is, it like once again takes away the attention from Saquon. That's the help. And then if you got, this guy on Saquon, whatever, they wanted to get faster. They signed Paris Campbell. Jalen Hyatt is a deep threat. You know what? I didn't even think of that, Bill. That's a very good one. Trey Hawkins. Everyone said we turn Tony into Waller, but they leave off Hawkins out of the deal, and he's absolutely showing out. I can't wait to see him against the Lions. I really can't wait to see this team against better defenses, or at least defenses that are not ours, and offenses.
When's the first preseason game for Giants again?
August 11th. I think that's a Friday.
11. Yes, you're right.
August 11th. I believe that's the date. And then they go to the 18th. And then I think the Saturday after that is the Giants-Jets game. So let me check real quick. Yes. Giants. Their first, August 11th, 7 p.m. against the Detroit Lions. So. And I'm also interested to see how they do against the rookie in Carolina, Bryce Young.
Mm-hmm.
I am in week 2. So then again, I don't also know when Hendon Hooker's coming off the IL. August 11th is a Friday. Okay. So I'm glad I got my stuff in there. But any final thoughts, any final questions on Giants camp, and then I think we could close it out.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think we're all set.
All right. I'll start with Luca, John, and then myself.
Can't wait for the trade deadline tomorrow. Obviously, we're going to analyze all the trades that are coming through. I'll be one of the co-hosts with that. Jets play a game on Thursday. I know it's a preseason game, but football's back. It takes away from attention. It takes the tension away. Attention, should I say, not tension. It takes my attention away from those goddamn Yankees. I'm excited. I'm going to definitely have a bunch of players on my list, my to-watch list. So, yeah.
John.
Well, ladies and gents, what did we learn today? We had the wonderful Yankee talk of just absolute disgrace of a baseball team at this point. Joining the Buck is Proud feeble Mets, who didn't even play today, but still feel like they lose the day no matter what. But, it's good to see them making moves. I'm happy that they're selling. I am praying tomorrow. Just give me something. Just give me something good from Verlander. Give me something good. Give me a young starter. Give me either someone in AAA or, you know what? I'm not even going to. Just give me someone good. Just give me someone good. And like Lucas said, I can't wait for Jets football. I've literally been, guys, when I'm not doing baseball research right now, football research is like, looking at the training camp, reading what people are saying, seeing if like any news. Like I miss football. And I know, it's the same cycle usually every year for me where this is the hope stage, but I can't wait till football is back. So, yet again, thanks. We had also a great chat tonight, by the way. Shout out to everyone that with all the questions. I
also have a minor trade to announce.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Buster only. Verlander gets traded tomorrow. Jets.
Jets.
As I said, low, weird trade too. The Athletics have acquired right-handed pitcher Chad Patrick from the D-backs for Jace Peterson.
Jace Peterson. I mean, okay.
That's my thoughts. But John, if you had any more to add.
No, I think the doctor is all set for tonight.
No, this guy, he's living on his doctor phase. But
it's not a phase, it's real.
Well, you're on cloud 9 since MH brought that up. But keep it here for the content, guys. I probably will have a Yankee video out tomorrow, or at least tonight. So, if you plan on staying up, I probably will have it out tonight. I'm going to be doing a lot of different things. Roster bubble video out tomorrow. Training camp recap vid probably at nighttime because of the Giants practice at 5. I will not be on the trade deadline stream, unfortunately, because the Giants practice is at 5 and the Giants are in pads tomorrow. So if they weren't in pads, I'd join you guys. But if we're going to have a great panel. We're going to have Bad Takes Brian. These two will be co-hosting. We got a Astros guy coming on. We also have I believe a Mets / NL East guy coming on. So either way, it's going to be exciting. Keep it here. Wednesday, probably another roster bowl video. And Thursday, we got our first football game. This is the 3rd year in a row. We're definitely calling the Hall of Fame game. 2 years ago it was the Steelers with Sean, and now 2 years later it is the Jets with Luker and Angry John, and hopefully next year it's the Giants because Tom Coughlin and Carl Banks, they are both eligible to be in the Hall of Fame. And
Let's just hope we don't get in.
Wow.
Do you want to get booted? Do you want to get booted early? Like, do you want to get booted? Do you want to have early leave? Like, seriously.
Luka throws the first jab. Alex gets him with the hook.
Over under 5, Brian being Brian.
Ooh, you know what?
You guys have to come
Brad?
up with that before tomorrow.
Brad, we'll come up with the line for that, but we'll definitely take all your considerations in. He already screwed up tonight, and he wasn't even here.
Yeah, he
Ruined
did
the
screw up
damn-
tonight. The Immaculate Grid.
Let me tell you, the Immaculate Grid has not been good for us this week. It is not.
Should we? I think we got to do one tomorrow before, at least as a warm up.
Yeah, of course, for baseball. Just don't sabotage.
Yeah, don't sabotage.
I'm talking to you too, mister. Yeah.
I didn't sabotage. I didn't sabotage today.
I know you did it. I know it wasn't yours. I know it wasn't your fault, but as Brad pointed out, the feeble bingo card twins fighting. I think your brother actually froze.
I think he froze too. He's just a little smile right before he's about to close the show. He
froze.
now he's not.
There he
Now he's
goes.
unfrozen, and I can't hear you.
You're muted, buddy.
Yeah, so that's the second time tonight. Number one, number two. Because my computer lost connection with the upstairs Wi-Fi, so I don't know what the hell happened. I couldn't even finish my fucking thoughts. That's disgraceful. Anyway, I was literally about to say, like, Luca, do you want to get booted early? But anyway, aside from the fuck ups and all that shit, feeble bingo card twins fighting, trust me.
Yeah,
Over
Armin's
for
got better
Brian
answers. I think Armin has like 100% accuracy.
Brian,
rate.
if I don't get a damn apology on tomorrow's show from you, it's gonna be an issue.
Yeah, but we just reached 20 likes, by the way, so we appreciate you guys for that. Once again, multiple videos coming out within the next 24 to 48 hours, and then Friday's a game. So like, comment, subscribe, share out. If you're a Yankees fan, buy our Fire Cashman, Fire Boone merch, and we will see you guys next time. Have a good night.